Okay, I should be unmuted now. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is going to be this is going to be a bit of a different session this evening, as one of our players is going to be sitting out for the evening, and I don't want any of them to miss the action that will be in the next couple coming sessions. Um, this will as be this and the next few recorded D&D sessions will be kind of my last for a good little while, as I am now in the hospital after suffering a stroke. I appreciate everybody for understanding. Tonight I am going to be joined by some of the loveliest players I've ever had the pleasure of being around and being and actually enjoying the table with. And I'm gonna have them come in and introduce themselves and their characters as we kind of pan back into this particular session. Um, I'm just gonna let my players know that they can unmute themselves.
Whoa.
Well,
Hello,
Well,
hello, everybody.
hello.
Welcome everyone back to what is essentially UE's equivalent of Kingmaker, which Claire and I have taken to be calling Baron Maker, uh, but is also titled on YouTube A Ruler's Journey. So tonight, much like we were gonna do last time, we're gonna do just kind of a role play session because I don't want any of you to miss the final two sessions because I have encounters planned out for those. So much of this is going to be a lot more of you guys kind of exploring the town as it is, and it's going to be a lot more theater of the mind than it will be, using the roll 20. I might ask you to roll me some checks or whatever, but as far as like the roll 20 goes, we're just gonna kind of wing that for this particular session, if that's okay with everybody else.
Yeah.
I enjoy winging it.
Wonderful. All right, I'm gonna bring your icons over to the little town so you guys can kind of see the village. Um, you are very small.
Like a medium size. I like that's big.
Yeah. So we pan back in kind of the next morning after each of you kind of went your separate ways for the evening. So I'm going to pick on each of you and ask, Rowan, what are you doing when you first wake up this morning? Kind of having the revelation you had the night before, that your sword is actually your dad.
I think Rowan, like farmer's daughter, working girl, is kind of already like up very early in the morning. I think she wakes up, doesn't at all feel tired, but just turns around and looks at the sword and decides she needs 5 more minutes. And she'll probably need 5 more minutes 3 more times before she finally gets up, gets a drink from the bar.
So
and...
on the second time, oh
Yeah.
sorry, on the
No, go ahead.
second 5 more minutes, you hear, boom, 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 boom. Wake up, you lazy bones! It's time. You need to get up. Of your sister, Annabeth, calling from the other side of the door.
I think with that change, Rowan will head over, again, obviously not looking tired, pull the door open. Anna, you and I need to have a chat. I just learned some very prevalent information.
Oh, wonderful! I just also learned something today. There are these magical little things called burritos, and she'll kind of literally come in with breakfast burritos.
Rowan will take a
what's up?
burrito.
And she'll hand you a breakfast burrito. It's just like this is probably the first time Rowan's ever seen a breakfast burrito. This one's got like bacon and black beans and egg. It's a delicious, delicious burrito.
Hell yes. Rowan will take the burrito and we'll look at Anna and go, Anna, and I know how thick I can be sometimes, but just, I swear to you, I mean this. She points to the sword. That's our dad.
Yeah, I know.
Burrito hits the floor. Rowan doesn't drop it, she squeezes it and all of the toppings spill out of both ends.
I just spent 5 copper on that. Damn.
You know?
I not until just recently, and I was gonna tell you, you just were busy last night.
I was busy finding out that very piece of information. What do you
so,
mean?
Remember, my mom's not dead.
Okay, rub it in, why don't you?
Sorry, but like I said, I knew because she was the one who came. Okay, so, and she'll kind of take a deep breath and go, "Let me start from the beginning."
Okay.
My mom knew exactly where we were, and was the only surviving, well, not the only surviving member, there was one other one, but turns out he's dick and just kind of abandoned his mission, as far as I'm aware anyway.
Our dad did. Just
no.
Oh, okay.
Not him.
I thought I was like, well,
there was a fourth in their company. He was a bard.
Oh, I see. All right.
So, our parents belonged to an organization known as the Weaver's Hand. The Weaver's
I
Hand.
know.
Yes. So, within this, your father has obviously put himself into his reliquary blade and given it to you.
Oh yeah, obviously, it was so evident.
Yes, yep, that's 100%. Yeah, that's now that I know what I know, it's a little more obvious to me, I suppose.
But, you know, that's fair. Now that
so my mom
yeah
has been tracking through the Underdark, trying to find this vampire that sicked a beastie, very large beastie, on both your mom, my mom, and our dad. And
wait, is that our vampire, or is this a different one?
That would happen to be our vampire.
Oh, good. All right. Well, Dad's going to quite enjoy being sunk into the flesh of this beastie.
Yeah, probably. But the problem that I'm having is my mom never killed the beast that killed our dad. It's still out there. She is currently injured. She lost both her legs. And went to Canalan and trained me to come out and do this. It's one of the reasons why I was able to so quickly become as influential as I have been in the adventuring space, so you could call it. Do you? And she'll kind of pull out a smaller but very similar looking blade to a Karn. This is my reliquary blade.
You have one too? Yeah.
Mine doesn't have anyone inside it. I'm part of the order now. And she'll close it. Hers is a short blade.
Okay.
The asshole who was meant to come and find and train the two of us, it wasn't just supposed to be me, it was supposed to be both of us, was named Thoriel Woodsheart, the brother of the single most powerful being, more non-deific being in all of UEs.
If there was anything left to squeeze out of the burrito, it is squeezed out.
He was supposed to come to Kinallen, train us, explain what was going on with the order, and introduce us to my now boss, the goddess of darkness, Shalara. We were both supposed to go through a bit of an initiation. Yours just so happened to take place without any actual formal training. You happened to kill the gnolls, and since then, my mother has kept a close eye on you. And when she heard that you were leaving Kanallen, she decided that it was time I get trained so that you weren't out here alone. It was
And
the opinion of
none of this was relevant in the conversation. When I came to you on the boat before we even fucking got here.
I didn't know what I was allowed to tell you. It's a bit of a secretive order. We're not supposed to just out and out talk about it.
Okay, so when do we get to the point where I have any control about anything that happens in my life? When do we get to that point? I would like to be there now, thank you.
So as you say that, the room around you goes dark. And and it is not only is it dark, it's going like you can't see like 3 feet in front of your face. Your sister has disappeared.
Is that you, or is that the shadow goddess that you just mentioned that I was also supposed to meet?
You hear a soft, feminine chuckle behind you, and she goes, "That would be me. I am the goddess Shalara, and
Fantastic.
and you see,
Option B.
if she's the voice is coming from behind you.
Uh-huh. I'll turn around.
And as you turn, you see what looks to be a drow with 4 arms. And she's got 2 of them folded in front of her, and the other 2 are resting their hands on the hilts of a pair of scimitars. You have had control of your destiny for quite a while now, actually, Rowan. As your sister said, you were supposed to come and see me months ago. I even sent out feelers to Akarn, the Blade, simply just to see if he could feel me again, but he can't. Something has cut him off from me, as some of your power has been cut off from what your sister can do.
Rowan is going to summon Ikarn to her hand and go, well, he's right here. He's right here, whatever you need to do.
Well, I can't do it. You have to.
Okay, okay, what's the... Let's skip the cryptic bullshit.
I'm not.
Well, pertains to the question I'm about to ask.
Mm-hmm.
What is the magical self-discovery fuckery that I have to do to put the sword where it needs to be? So, is it a where do I find my strength? Is it a what's the actual treasure? Like what? Let's cut through the bull.
Cut through the fairy tale and get to the reality.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't want to be a fairy tale. I just want to know what I'm supposed to do. The fuck do I do?
I can give you very clear instruction.
Thank you. Fucking finally, somebody can just answer the damn question.
You're not the praying type, obviously, from what my brother tells me.
Sir?
My brother Titanus says hello.
Titanus, yeah.
Yeah. My brother Titanus says hello.
I knew it was Titanus. Cyric is the placeholder name I used.
Yeah. Yes. Titanus says hello. And he also says to give you this. And she'll open her hand, and in it is an apple. It's bright gold.
I think Rowan will take it, and she goes, do I eat it? It feels weird to ask because it's just an apple?
It's just an apple. They just grow in his grove.
Well, I destroyed my breakfast, so I think this will work. She starts eating.
So each bite of this apple is like eating a hero's feast. So you have
She
the
takes
effects of the spell
she
Hero's
takes
Feast.
one bite and is like, "Oh, I'm good, actually."
Yeah, yeah. The apple won't rot or anything. You can just stick it in your bag and it'll be fine for the next bite.
She will say, I have to find a little canvas pouch and slice this into pieces so that I can. That's so good.
It is the perfect, like, whatever Rowan's preferred type of apple is, that's what this tastes like. Like, it is the perfect apple.
It has that like, it has like the sweetness, of oh gosh, what am I thinking? Like the sweetness of a gala apple, but like a little bit of the bite of a Granny Smith, but it's not overwhelmingly
I
sour.
love that. I love that so much.
Okay, but yeah, that's it for
So
sure.
so Shalara will go, and so as for your instruction, what I need you to do is there's a library in town. It's burned down
Fantastic.
for the most part. It's burned down for the most part, but you need to find your mother's journal.
All right,
Um,
Mother's Journal. Got it.
once you find that, you should, in theory, find your father's name. And once that happens, you should, in theory, be able to unlock at least a little bit of his true power. But in order to access him fully, you will have to kill the monster that killed him. It's how the reliquary blades work. It's how I invented them to work.
Okay.
And she will create an illusion of a
Uh-huh.
monster. And I will actually put a picture of it in the
Oh,
Discord.
thank God.
I think I still have this picture. If not, I will go and steal a picture of it because it is I am stealing. Can y'all still hear me? There we go.
Yes. Yes, you're good.
I can't hear Chip. I think that's the issue. So give me 2 seconds and I will have the image ready for you. And currently, I cannot hear what you guys are saying.
We're not talking.
If you are responding.
Oh.
So I'm gonna try and fix that.
How's Rowan feeling right now?
This is so much. This is so much.
No, Chip shouldn't be paused. It should be okay. Thank you, Crow, for asking.
Hey, I'm your dad. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
I'm going to disconnect and reconnect quickly, and I will be right back.
Mhm. Hello?
Okay. No, we did not do
Hello?
a mistake, Crow. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear us.
Wonderful. I can hear all of you. Fantastic. No, Crow, we didn't do introductions. We just kind of jumped right into it. I kind of skipped that part. Sorry about that, everybody.
You're good. You're good.
So, you see a monstrous hulking beast. Tall, muscled, almost mutated looking minotaur with vampiric fangs and huge claws. These same claws, similar to the blades of a hook horror, but there are 3 on each hand with large, almost bloody, dripping wings from underneath its muscular arms. This is what is known as a Vesper demon. They are vampiric entities from the elemental plane of corruption, and they were the creation of the goddess of undeath Katsa. They are one of these is what killed your father.
Okay. And I have to kill that.
Not alone, obviously, but yes.
And not to sound like a pessimist, but when my father died, he was a powerful and high-ranking champion. Or like high-ranking paladin. He was actual, like, heroic kind of person.
Yes.
And I'm extremely out of my element.
Yes. However, what I will tell you, and what I will say, as far as that goes, is that your father attempted to fight the beast alone. You have others you can rely on to help you, as well as Ikarn.
I think Rowan smiles and goes, so it is a power of friendship thing. So it is a friendship thing.
Little bit. It's a little bit of
Okay.
a power of friendship.
So we are back in fairy tale land now.
Only a little. I try very hard to keep it away from fairy tales, as you do not seem to like them very much.
Oh, what gave it away? I shouldn't sass a god.
You know, it's okay. Your mother was just like you.
You know, if anything, it's just being fair, right? Like I'll sass and be brash towards anybody, regardless of their station.
Yes, exactly. I'm very, very glad you missed my other sister yesterday when your friends met her.
Huh?
Oh, your entire party met the goddess of thunder, Priscilla, yesterday while you were here.
This feeling of being one step behind everything sucks.
I can understand that, but at least they haven't met me.
I get a god all to myself.
Exactly. That's how you can think about it. It's not that you're, and besides, knowing knowing who's in your party, you'll probably at least see Priscilla or Tethala, one of the two, at some point, probably today, depending on if Tethala's done waging her stupid ass war.
I'm sensing some beef here.
Listen, she's my older sister, and she's a bit of an asshole, and she is petty, and I don't like that.
Can I get a spelling of this god's name just to make sure I have it correct?
Shalara or Tethala?
Shalara.
Yes, you can. I will type it up in the chat.
Goddess of Shadows?
Goddess of Shadows, Spiders, the Underdark, and Mother of Monsters.
Fantastic. And then, once I'm finally off the back foot, and I've killed the Vesper Demon, and I've awoken my sword, and I've done all that, only then I'm just starting to be a member of the Order. Like, all of that is the qualifier.
No. The qualifier is being able to pull that. She'll point to Ikarn. You were part of the Order as soon as you pulled it. You've just had no formal training.
And you didn't think to write a memo? Nobody was gonna. I mean, I know that Bard fuck never showed up, but there was not one person who could have said, "Hey, by the way."
Well, your handler died during the Knoll attack.
Handler. All right. Ugh.
We placed an agent within Kanalan to protect the city, to protect the town, and she attempted to, and she died.
Wait, so there was supposed to be someone?
Yes, she was. Well, technically, you were both supposed to come up in the order together. Her parents were members of the order.
And
You'll
she and okay.
you'll remember a Minotaur lass who was skewered through with a spear.
Oh, that makes so much sense. I'm so sorry for her. She would have been fun to adventure with.
She was meant to be essentially your squire.
Wait, I was gonna be in charge of her?
Yep.
Wait, me in charge of the.
Yes,
But
as long as you could pull a Karn, yes, because she had the inability to pull a reliquary blade. She was given the
okay.
opportunity and could not pull one, much like your sister.
Wait, okay, because
Your sister
Anna
has a
has a
reliquary blade.
reliquary blade. Yeah.
I had to forge it for her. It had to
Oh,
be forged for her.
wait, so was it kind of a competition between which of us was going to pull Karn, or is a Karn kind of
Yes.
always going to be mine?
It was essentially whoever had the ability and was able to pull the blade.
So it's entirely possible that it could have been Anna who did it.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Does she know that?
Yes. Yes, she does.
Ah, fuck.
She is not upset
That
about it,
is
from what I
okay.
understand. From what I understand, she's just glad that you have your father's voice in your head and not her, as she's made some, let's say, decisions your father would not have agreed with.
Right. Also, that would have been awkward to, because like I don't know him.
Hmm.
We kind of just met yesterday. It would have gone over a lot worse if I wasn't the one holding the sword.
Yes, yeah, no, that definitely probably would have gone over much worse. Though I am glad that you were able to awaken him enough for him to remember that he was your father. Do you know how that happened? Because I can't, unless he's pulled from the scabbard, I can't read his thoughts like I can
Okay,
read
so
yours.
this is a fun one. Okay, so imagine, right? You're me, mortal human woman. Granted, you're a little bit hardy. I got brought up by dwarven folk, so inherited a little bit of the tenacity, as it were.
Love the
And
dwarves.
imagine you get struck directly in the chest by a cannonball.
Actually, I've been struck in the chest with a cannonball. It hurts.
It hurts. Yeah, it does. That's what happened.
Ah,
Apparently, if we jostle around the old noggin enough, that's what gives him his memories back.
good to know. You see
Yeah.
her
So
slowly
if
draw
you
one of her scimitars.
Robin rolls her eyes and goes, "I figured it was going this way." Draws a
Um,
card.
she'll go, no, 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 I'm not going to attack you, I promise. And she'll flip it over and show an engraving on the blade of the scimitar. This
uh,
sword, this sword is known as Salamandra. It contains the soul of an ancient dragon. Same deal. He can't remember anything unless I get hurt. And
so
she'll
why is this the
slowly sheathe it.
design philosophy? What? Who decided this was the best way for that process to be brought about?
What do you know about the other gods, Rowan?
I know my ma and my ma both worship Titanus, and um, so I'm not a pious woman, but
Obviously,
I
yeah.
also do not neglect the existence or station of the gods. It's just,
So
I
do you
have.
know, does the name Thoraine Hell Queen strike you at all?
Does
If
it?
you'd like, you may roll religion.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. 14.
So where you come from, you don't speak her name. Thus, otherwise you get her attention. She
Okay, I love
is
the
the
idea of
goddess
Rowan
of the
going
nine hells.
wide-eyed. Rowan
She
goes
is the
wide-eyed and
goddess of
goes,
the
"Wait,
nine hells.
you can't say that." Oh, well, you probably can say that. I can't say that.
I see. Yeah, no, so my grandmother, Thoraine Hell Queen,
Oh, good.
is one of the three gods of balance, and she created this this um system, essentially.
Hmm.
And so that is why we have these weapons that do the things that they do. Um, and while I understand the system is weird and stupid, and I've told her it's weird and stupid, it's the only way we get to do things.
All right.
Though I will also tell you, the only people who don't say her name are those who bear ill will toward dragons. If you have no ill will toward dragons, it might be a boon to contact her.
I was taught growing up that I'm not supposed to say her name or else I attract her attention.
That is true. That happens with all of us, though. There's only one specific god or goddess that I would say don't ever say their name, and that is the goddess of chaos. And I will not speak her name because, for the life of me, I don't want her showing up. And
That
she'll
would
like
be one more thing that I need this morning.
yeah, right. But yes. So what your job is for now is to head to the library and find your mother's journal.
All right.
I would check the basement first.
So, is there do I just say your name if I ever need to contact you? Is there like a sigil or like a sign or one of those like a pretty rock with a special engraving, or do I just say, "Hey, hey, Shalara, need a bit of a timeout? Do you mind if we like
Uh,
how?"
she'll chuckle and put her hand up to like where the ceiling of your room was, because right now you're just in like an empty void, and
Yeah,
coming down from it is a beautiful beautifully patterned yellow spider.
like
Take
a
him.
jewel that's shaped like a spider, or
No,
just
it's
a
a
little guy?
spider. It's
Just a
just a
little
little
guy. You
guy.
got it.
And she goes, "Here,
Um,
take him."
Rowan doesn't even flinch at the notion. She'll just take the little spider. So is
This
this like a
is.
familiar kind of thing?
I mean, it can be if you wish it to be, but for now, he's just a way for you to contact me when you need me.
Cool.
All spiders throughout the entire world are my spies.
You know,
I
it
I have
makes
the
sense. It makes sense. I did not need to know that.
you know that's true, but if you'll ever notice,
How many
most
times have you
spiders,
watched me step on you?
God, so many, so
And
many.
that just goes for everyone around the world. You watch
Most
every single
people,
mortal being crush you all the time.
most people know not to do that, as it is taught in most places that you don't kill the spiders.
Oh,
However, in Kanalan, it was taught the exact opposite. Spiders
well,
are like the bane of everyone's existence.
so wait, okay, so the thing that confuses me the most of all is like I seem to have grown up into a place that is very antithetical to you and your motivations.
The reason that you grew up in Kanalan is because it was looked over by the gods of the Fae.
Gotcha. Okay.
That way we could guarantee that you and your sister were safe from the monster. Because while the monster knew where Kinallen was, once Titanus and Tevelian took over, it couldn't cross its borders lest it be stopped in time and pummeled to death for 1,000,000 years.
Okay, so hear me out. I know it's part of my heroic trial or whatever. Hypothetically, had that happened, and had the Vesper demon been taken care of before I even bothered, would I have had a different trial? Or would
Yes,
that check mark have been okay? I still would have had to do something else.
you still would have had to have defeated something. Likely, what you would have had to have done is enter a test of wits against the god of the West Fae, which would be Tevelian.
Okay, so it's either kill something or take a test of wits.
Yes,
I'll
I
stick
think
with kill
I think we
something,
both.
I think.
I was about to say I think we both know which one
I
you
think
prefer,
we both know that I would not fare well in a battle of wits.
especially against the god of time.
Yeah, just were I to give myself odds, I don't even want to bother putting a number on it. I think I walk in and lose is how that works.
That's how it happens most of the time. He's
Okay,
kind of a
perfect.
dick. He's kind of a dick. What you do is to make him not be an asshole if that ever happens to you. Just as a heads up, if you ever get trapped in a game of wits with Tevelian, just pray to his wife Matilda, the goddess of spring, and then she'll come get him and make him stop being an asshole. He
Can
is
I
so
just
wit.
love that the answer is sick his wife on him?
Yeah, exactly. She's wonderful. She is a lovely, lovely lady. She is, however, an iron hand when it comes to that trickster little bastard. Anyway, I have
See,
some
this
other
is
duties that I need to perform.
if
I
I could say
will.
one more note, that this
Mhm.
is why I don't like this is why I respect the gods, but why I'm not pious, because you all are just a riot. Like I understand that you're incredibly powerful, but you're all just people. And
We are just
you
people.
you get
You
up
should
to
see
fun
our.
little antics. You walk around on the world. I don't think you need the reverence. I would
So
respect you as a peer rather than having my respect demanded.
see, that's why we chose to walk amongst the people, is because we don't want the people's love because they have to. We want them to love us because they truly like to they truly worship us in a way that is loving and kind. The only one of us that ruled out of fear, her name was Orchid, and she is no longer a god.
Oh, you can be demoted from godhood.
There's only one way to be demoted from godhood, and it is to be murdered by another god.
Oh, well, that'll do it too.
She had captured the goddess of creation, and so we sicked Impum,
Oh,
and
I I
she
don't
just
know a lot about
stopped.
religion. You don't do that. You don't take the creation god.
Yeah, she just dead stops as soon as she says the word and goes, "Oh fuck, I've done it. Run."
What?
And you see the room fade back and Shalara is gone. However, you hear from down below in the bar room, "I've been through space and time." Imp is in the bar room.
Yes!
Uh, I was told to run. I think she's
Yeah,
immediately
just
hauling ass downstairs.
yeah, she's get out of the bar as quickly as possible.
Good.
Okay, so we're gonna pan into another person. So,
Yes, please do.
um, Jester, if you don't wouldn't mind reminding me of your character's name.
Maury.
Maury, what are you doing first thing this morning?
First thing in the morning, uh, as always, like they do in the morning is like, like cleaning up like the little altars, making sure everything's good. Uh, just
Roll
tidying up.
perception.
Perception.
Yeah, roll me a perception check when you go to clean the altar of your mother Tethala.
Just walk up, clean it. Good morning. No. Good morning, mom. That's an 8. I see nothing. My eyes are closed. Too tired.
Too tired. You feel a warm hand on your shoulder and a cup of coffee enter your hand.
Ah,
Good
I feel
morning.
like. Ah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The brain
You turn
has not
around
properly
and
turned on yet.
there's your war mom.
Ah,
Tethala just kind of smiling very gently and going, so your other mom informed me of what happened. How are your
uh-huh.
new friends?
Why do I feel like that's said with a mild passive aggression? Just a mild.
Mild is no, it's very obvious.
Things are pretty good. We have to fight a big scary thing eventually. But I guess I pretty good. Had some of them over yesterday.
So I was
Uh,
told. So I was told.
can I insight? Can I insight on
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yes, you may. You absolutely may incite your other
Because
god mom.
because it's like, am I? Did I offend you by not inviting you to come over? God, my rolls are dog shit.
What'd you get?
10.
So you know your mom well enough where yeah, she's kind of peeved. But she also was informed by Priscilla that it was an impromptu visit. So she's not super mad at you, but she's like, okay, I see how it is. Uh,
Like, I'm sorry about what happened earlier, and also about the friend thing. To be fair, Mom wasn't a big fan of one of them, so I don't know.
really?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but
How about you take me and introduce me to what was her name? Jessamine was, I believe, the name of the one that Priscilla was talking to me about.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, sure. Let me just finish up here. I'll be like 2 minutes, and then we'll go.
You see your mom. You see Tethal like straighten and go. I will meet you at the bar in 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm not gonna be that long.
Your aunt Imp is here, and I have to go take care of that.
Okay, all right. See you
Uh,
then.
you know that Imp is literally everywhere she goes. She causes weird shit to happen, and every year she brings her pet Death Tyrant to the Christmas party.
Oh
So,
God. I'm just
so,
imagining like people like, oh, I'm bringing my dog. He's not trained at all, but I'm bringing my dog anyway. For
yeah,
Death
no,
Tyrant.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. But it's a Death Tyrant. For anyone in the audience who doesn't know what a Death Tyrant is, it is a beholder that has become a lich, and they can make just swaths of undead at a moment's notice. Uh,
Yeah, I think it's like at first it was like a tired, just slowly doing things, and now it's like, oh crap, oh, great. I think where's the toad? Where is he? Where is the toad?
the toad is sitting on Priscilla's altar, just kind of chilling and vibing.
I offer my hand out. Hey, bud, look, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a mess. You joining? Yes? No?
He will hop into your hand and like turn so that when you're like the way your palm is facing, it's like looking away, and so you see him just kind of go like point, like dogs will point with their noses,
Yeah.
just like onward, slave.
Does he actually say that, or is that just the notion?
That's just the notion. He hasn't quite spoken yet.
Yeah, I think as they're walking out, they just look at him and they just look at the toad and go, "Sometimes I wonder if I've given you an ego."
He just kind of looks back at you and like raises an eyebrow, like, "Bitch, I had an ego before you."
All right, I'm just saying. I can't make small talk now without somebody thinking I'm. Okay, you know what? You know what? It's fine. This is fine.
Uh,
I'm making my way downtown.
walking fast, faces
Walking
past, and you're
fast,
homebound.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
kind of nervous about the scene I'm gonna walk into, but the goal will be, I think, because once she goes to the bar, uh, her mom will find her. I think she's gonna go to try to find Jessamy.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna cut from that scene as you're walking to the bar to Hugh in the bar room, as you see a small red tiefling woman appear just out of a puff of red smoke, wearing a jester's outfit. Um, and she loudly proclaims as she appears, "I've been through space and time! Someone said my name."
Hugh is going to, upon seeing this, immediately assume this is the god of chaos and focus as hard as he can on playing the piano, trying to do Claire de Lune.
Wonderful. She will very slowly approach and go, "You know, I personally prefer Mozart, but you may not know who that is, because you've not been through space and time." And the piano begins to play by itself, and the chair you're sitting on, I want you to roll a dex save as it becomes a mimic.
Oh no! Oh, on the bright side, that's one of the two saves I'm good at. 23.
You are able to jump off of this mimic before it eats you. And then laughing, Imp will put her hand down and it will become just a normal chair again. As you see a tall woman in blue robes and dark tan skin. Here, I'll get a picture of her for everybody who hasn't quite seen Tethali yet.
For the class.
Yeah, we'll get that for the class. This is Tethala, the goddess of war. Burst through the door. And like grab Imp by one of the horns and goes, "I'm gonna yeet you so hard, you're gonna go into the Feywild." And you see her just like open the front door and
My
literally
lady,
just
before you
throw
do,
Imp.
might I ask, this individual has mentioned a certain musician, Mozart, and I would like to have some of that sheet music, please.
You can speak to her husband about it. Yeet. And she goes. She literally like a football punts Imp out the door, and Imp like disappears into the ether.
On this day,
And that would
we
be
have borne witness to the holy yeet.
Yep. And that would be when Mori hits the door, as Tethala is literally punting Imp into the ether.
I think she ducks.
This is
Like-
also as Rowan is scrambling down the
Yeah,
staircase, right?
this is as you're scrambling out down the staircase. You see,
incredible.
yeah, Rowan immediately stops to see this. Does Rowan say anything as she sees this?
I think Rowan will lean over to the spider that is on her shoulder and just go like, do I still have to run, or does that take
No,
care
no.
of it?
No, that's Tethala though. That's the goddess of war.
Your sister, right? I remember the history
Yes,
lesson I just
my
got.
my older sister. I can actually inform you if you ever have questions for like the gods at least. I can inform you of which ones are which if they happen to upon you. Um,
That'd be
but
spectacular,
yes,
honestly.
that's the goddess of war, passion, sex, and all things that have to do with the moon. We don't know why she got the domains she did. Probably because she's a whore and she likes to fight.
You see that Rowan, like, kind of smiles and goes, all due respect to you and your domain. She seems really up my alley.
I mean, technically, she's not exclusive with her wife. If you wanted to flirt with her,
That's not what I meant, but do you think I have a chance?
I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I think I think Mori locks eyes with Rowan from across the room, kind of still crouched from trying to avoid like.
What you see is Rowan talking to a little yellow spider on her shoulder.
Mori would know because Mori is an actual demigod. That this is likely her aunt Shalara.
Oh my god! I think she sees that. It's like, just like scrambles over. Once again, poor Tethala just watching, just watching Mori blow by, which is not a good look for me at any given point. And she just walks over and goes, oh my god, hi! Hello!
Hey, Maury, how are you this morning?
I'm good. She looks at the spider. Hi, it's been ages.
Yeah, last Christmas party. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I actually went last year.
Yeah,
I
I
just
was
didn't
there
visit.
for all of like 20 minutes to give gifts and leave. It's it's good to see. Oh shit, your mom's coming this way.
Oh god, oh no. She's probably, oh no. She's,
Rowan sees a very peeved Tethala coming, beelining it for the two of you.
Rowan just sheepishly waves.
I
Rowan
think,
knows, like, she doesn't want to go back upstairs. She doesn't want to leave, but she wants to be clear, like, I don't know what's going on.
I think before
Very
before
clearly
Tathala
scooting away.
I think before Tathala fully gets over here, Marius goes, I am so sorry if she's mad. She's a little ticked off I didn't introduce her to people earlier. That's fine, don't worry about it. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry.
Maury, dear.
Hi! Hi,
Are you-
hello.
Hello. Are you going to introduce me to this one?
Yeah, this is she can introduce herself. She's a big, strong woman.
Yes, she is. And she is like eyeing you up and down. Note, Tethala is 7'3".
Oh, good.
Maury's quietly
Rowan is a
slowly
humble
pushing
5'10".
Not Rowan. God, Maury's just quietly pushing the spotlight onto Rowan. Dude, come on, you can introduce yourself. She doesn't bite.
Rowan will smile and say, first off, thank you very much for the compliment. And secondly, Rowan Galliana Blythe at your humble service.
Oh, I know that name. Wonderful. I'm glad you finally out and about in the world. My brothers have had quite a time.
She will smile and say, I didn't get a lot of guidance until kind of recently, so I'm still sort of figuring out what the whole mission is, but I'm picking up.
If you ever want clearer instruction and maybe a little bit of training, I give personal classes in Moon's Reach. And she'll wink at you.
Oh my god.
Rowan will smile and will say, "Sure, I don't think I'd mind some personal guidance."
Glad to hear it. And she'll look over to Maury and go, "Now, this one, Jessamine, where is she?"
I have to go get her actually, because I don't think she's down here. But if you give me
So,
if you sit here and talk to Rowan, I can go get her.
oh, I'll gladly speak to Rowan.
Oh God, don't make it. Oh. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go. And Mori just goes. She scrambles so fast, somehow holding onto the frog the toad the entire time.
Okay. So we're gonna cut up to Jessamine. What are you doing first thing in the morning? You haven't quite heard the commotion yet.
To be fair, she is a rich, pompous noble, so she is probably still sleeping, depending on how early it is.
Wonderful.
If it's like before 10,
It is about 11:30 in the morning as Tethala enters the bar.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's right when we cut back to, it's about 10 for
Okay.
you.
She
So
would
like
just
the
be
sun
getting
is
up.
up and in your room. Yeah, the sun is up and in your room. Your brand new freaking lyre that Priscilla gave you is sitting on a little stand. Your gear is neatly folded and pressed, because I'm assuming you paid for the full,
Oh,
like.
most likely, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you've got warm water waiting on you in your little, like, they have indoor plumbing here, and every room has a shower, but like Jessamine would have had to have told them a time to heat the water from downstairs. So now you have hot water waiting on you, like the whole nine, to pamper you.
Excellent. Yeah, none the
Uh,
wiser. She is properly dolling herself up, ready for a exciting day of adventure.
Wonderful.
I just wonder at what point do you hear the knock 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 knock?
I was about to say, right now, this would be when you would be knocking on the door.
Yeah, it's Mori is like kind of like a scrambly mess, but also it's like trying to convince Toad, hey, I need both of my hands. Sit on my shoulder or something so I can use both of my hands.
He jumps from your hand to your shoulder to the top of your head.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome, great. You know what? I asked you to be on my hands. It didn't specify. Knock knock knock.
Knock, 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 knock.
Knock 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 knock.
Who is it?
Maury? Hi, it's me. One of my moms wants to meet you downstairs.
You wait like 2 minutes, silence, approximately, and then eventually you just get the door open, and it's still like, you know, wet, jostled hair, like she's towel drying it, and just wearing like simple common, or what? She'd be wearing noble clothes technically, but like.
She can have common clothes, just like as pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want that, she absolutely can have.
Or like it's
pajama.
you know, ostentatious, just me. And she
Yeah.
goes, and you just see her looking down at you and go, "My, that's mighty forward of you, introducing me to your other mother."
No, I mean, she insisted on meeting you because she was madly upset that she didn't get to meet you and.
Oh, she's upset. Oh, I'm so sorry.
But it's fine. It's fine. You know what? Today's been a day.
If it's any consolation, you've technically met me first. I wasn't there when we did the first godly meet and greet.
I mean, is Rowan up here? I thought Rowan was downstairs.
Oh,
this is Rowan talking to Tethala, who is just like, yeah, no, and they didn't even invite me.
Well, this is my first time meeting any of Maury's parents. I wasn't there for the last one. I was dealing with, and you know, she very like, because clearly Tathala knows what's going on. She like gestures to the sword and was like, "I was dealing with that identity crisis. I didn't have time to."
Yes. Yes.
But
Anyways,
yes, my mom.
continue.
Yeah, but my mom does. My other mom does want to meet you. She's probably fine. A little peeved, but she's always a little peeved. I didn't tell you that. You didn't hear it from me.
Oh.
I haven't had a chance to settle since I woke up this morning.
It looks like she reaches, because I think Jessamine is, like, taller than both of you, and she reaches out to, like, pat you on the head and sees the toad and kind of just, like, recoils the hand and just goes to, like, pat you on the cheek instead. And be like, you're okay. I don't know. I'm a professional with dealing with,
It's okay. I'll be fine. This is probably one of the more normal days of my life. Granted, yeah, I've had weirder days. But I can leave you to get ready. So I'm not bothering you. But she's downstairs. Whenever you're ready to go downstairs, I'll tell her you're coming. I think we're all good.
So as you say, I think, you hear a clap of thunder outside.
Oh, okay. She doesn't say something raunchy. When you're like, I could just go.
Well, I'm gonna go downstairs. You can come with me. You can take your time. But I'm gonna go down there before she gets up here and drags me down there herself.
I won't take my time, but I'm going to take my time. You go deal with your predicament.
Thanks! I'll go do that.
I was going to say something worse, but yes, your predicament, and Jessamine will just be like, just close your door.
Yeah.
Now here's the question. What was Jessamine gonna say? Because the particular god downstairs, ThePaladinBelle, can read your thoughts and the thoughts of every person in this building.
Okay, 2 things then. 3 things. Because I made the wisdom save so she wouldn't say something raunchy.
Okay.
Because Mori was like, I could just go downstairs and leave you be. And she thought about like, oh, why go downstairs? You can just come in and have a show. But she doesn't say that. But when she was going to say your predicament, she was like, your, like, issues. Your...
Yeah, mommy issues.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, just so you're aware,
Yeah.
ThePaladinBelle knows what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
And you don't know how she's gonna react to it.
Haha.
You as the player,
Yeah.
the player know.
I'm just cha-cha sliding downstairs. I am back, baby.
As you get downstairs, you do see just outside there is it is an actual storm. Priscilla is not here. It is just actually raining outside.
Oh my god, I think she's like stops at the bottom of the stairs and just like puts a hand on her heart. It's like a sigh of like, this is when you have one parent who's like, you know, the sun, like the storm deity. You're like, is that her or is that just an actual storm going on out there?
Or is she just actually doing her job?
Okay. She'll be down here soon. She said she's not gonna take her time, but she's gonna take her time.
Oh, I am aware, my dear. I think I like this one already.
Cool. Glad to hear that.
Where's the other one?
The one I mentioned earlier?
The one you mentioned your other mother not liking.
She points at Hugh.
Hugh, you very suddenly feel as if you're being watched. Very intensely.
Hugh is doing his best to not pay attention to the feeling that he knows he's being watched. He knows it's probably murderous intent. He knows odds are he's just going to end up compost all over again. So he just focuses as hard as he can on the piano. because
Uh,
he's trying his best to get it so it's no longer under Imp's magic and just him playing piano again. Granted,
okay.
his hands are a
So
lot shakier now.
as he's doing this, he feels he hears from the corner, Tethala go, Rowan, while your company is absolutely riveting, I have a little bit of business to attend to, and then I can attend to you again. And then she will gently put a tip your chin up with her
Oh
pointer
my
finger,
god.
and just go, "Don't run away on me now," and then head over to.
Oh.
I think Rowan was like kind of doing her best to like kind of maintain composure, but I feel like at this point she's like, yeah, won't go anywhere. I'll be right here. I'll be right here.
Where
You
does that?
you hear her.
Where does
You hear
that
her
drop
from
the
over.
shoulder?
You hear her
Okay,
from
okay.
over her shoulder go, "Good girl," and then head over.
Every after you.
It's just I'm just gonna look at her and go. It's congrats. That's my mom.
So please
Rowan
don't fuck my mom.
Rowan is like, your mom is lovely.
Please don't flirt with my mom.
I feel like we're well past that.
Please don't flirt with my mom. And then we pan over to whatever the fuck's about to happen.
Yeah. Hugh,
Every step.
you feel a hand clap on your back, very not too hard, but enough to jostle you.
Hugh already on edge because there's a god in the room. A god who in his past he was told it's best to avoid. The gods do not like you. He nearly jumps out of his skin.
Yeah, he feels like when his body jumps, Tethala's hand is holding him where he's sitting, like she's resting it on his shoulder. But it's like, and to everybody else, it just kind of looks like a friendly gesture. But to you, if you were to try and move right now, she'd break that shoulder.
Hugh just stops his movement. He's not trying to get the piano under control. He's not trying to play. He freezes like a statue.
There we are. So I heard from my wife that and she'll lean in very close and whisper what you are into your ear. Was on the boat of my daughter last night. Can you tell me why?
Well, ma'am, that's because I was invited on as I am part of the same adventuring group for the moment.
I see. So you were invited in, which would make sense as to how you got inside. I will give you fair warning. If anything should happen to my daughter while you are adventuring with her, I will break every bone in your body. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. And just flashes of that happening before goes through his head.
Good man. Good man. And she will place a knife in your lap.
Much appreciated, ma'am.
No need to thank me, dear boy. Don't worry. I'm not going to kill you. There are things much worse than death.
The mo. Oh, he was just taking very shaky and shallow breaths. He is utterly terrified for good bloody reason.
Yeah, this is the literal goddess of war. There is no one in UEs, bar the gods of balance, that can defeat her in combat. Like, you'd have to have the goddess of the hells, the goddess of creation, or the actual literal god of balance, or you can't beat Tethal in a fight. Not even like Tevelian, the god of time, is on her level. and he can literally stop time. And she'll walk back over and sit and like lean on the bar and tap the bar twice, and what appears to be like a bubbling golden drink is slid over to her, and she'll just tip her glass up and go, "Ambrosia," and then sip and smile. So, Rowan, tell me about yourself while we wait on Jessamine.
Ooh, boy. Okay. I
And
think Rowan
Poppy,
starts with the fundamentals.
Yeah. Poppy, at any given point in time during this conversation, Jessamine can and should
Okay.
come down like
Okay. Yes.
very flamboyantly.
Of course. I'll wait for the perfect moment.
So, fair warning, a lot of the events of my earlier life I just found out yesterday. It's been a very fun week for me. I am the child of a powerful paladin who I don't know the name of, and neither does he yet. We're working on that's one of my trials, is to go find it. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Was dropped off at my adopted mother's place. And then right after that, there goes Dad. Again, still don't really know the guy. Grew up raised by a dwarven family, predominantly worship in Titanus, helping around the town, learning how to smith, learning how to handle crops and all that.
Such a shame. You'd have made such a pretty monk.
You see Rowan kind of looks at her like weathered farmer's hands and goes, I mean, I'm still not exactly sure where I'm going, so who knows? Would be.
Oh no. I think if you were to join my church, I have many, many other jobs I could put you to.
Rowan's giddy gay smile and goes, oh, what do you most have in mind, you think?
Oh my
Well,
God.
I am in need of a new attendant. Mine recently retired after 400 years of service, so I think she earned it.
Unless we prolong my very human mortal lifespan, I think I can't give you 400.
I mean, I prolonged the halfling's life.
Oh,
She
sure.
was only supposed to live 100. So we can make you last. I hope you can last.
Oh, good.
Oh my God.
I hope I can too.
I think Maurice is like slowly. Sorry, I have hiccups. Trying to ignore the fact of the very charged energy in this room.
Rowan is getting rizzed to hell by your mom.
That's just how it is, isn't it? Oh, maybe. God.
Tethala just goes, barkeep, a round of the forget me juice for my daughter. And you have absinthe. You have absinthe slid in front of you.
Oh God.
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Forgive me. Man, there's so much. I hate this. I hate the hiccups. I'm so sorry. Continue.
It's okay. You're just in character already really fucking drunk.
I think it's just trying to space out so hard. You space out a little too hard.
Yeah. So, Jessamine.
Yeah.
Now would probably be the time, because in about 10 minutes I'm gonna need to break, but right now would be about the time where you would come downstairs.
Yeah. Probably still kitted out to be in her full, like, adventuring gear, because she, I guess, in her head is like, we're going out, eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna go out today at some point.
Mm.
And then probably has the new lyre, like, safely belted, on either, like, her bag or, like, on her side.
Okay. You see Tethala kind of turn her head and smile and go, "Ah," and there she is. "Pardon me, dear Rowan. I have business I need to attend to." And the entire time she's saying this, she's like very gently tracing her fingertips up your forearm.
Oh my god.
I will.
Yeah, Rowan is just fully gay and glossy eyed. Like,
Oh my god.
Good luck. Good luck on your mission today. From what I heard, you were given quite the doozy.
right, I have to go to the library, and she just fully forgot that that was a thing in her agenda, and quickly stops by the bar to get breakfast again before heading out.
Tethala will stand and like walk, like I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Death by Snoo Snoo TikTok.
Yeah.
The like, yeah, that walk, that like very confident strut. That's Tethala over to Jessamine, and she was kind of smile and go, "So you're the charmer who convinced my wife to give her lyre strings."
Jessamine looks up and then smiles brightly and be like, "Oh, so you're both mighty perfect for each other."
Thank you, I appreciate that. I would think so as well. It is wonderful to once again. It is wonderful to make your acquaintance. I don't know if you remember me, but we've met before. When you were very, very little, on the deck of the ship, the Thunderbrand. It's the flagship of Regina Twin Dragon, and she went out in the middle of the night. She took you with her, from what I remember. It was probably the first time you went sailing. Do you remember the woman who sparred with your aunt that night?
Um,
You may roll history if you would, or if you would like, you may just remember.
I will do history. Let me get back my Roll20 app. Abilities and skills. History. That is a 1, so no, she does not remember.
She'll just kind of nod and go, "Ah, I see.
The
Memory is a little fuzzy."
So many exciting things happened during that trip. And I was quite young,
That-
you know. How the youngins always
That is
forget.
true. Your aunt is a very close friend of mine. And knowing how she is, I assume you're not like her, if you understand my meaning.
Oh, I'm not
Regina,
like her.
Regina, the majority of the meaning that she means is Regina's a whore.
Should have to think. I think Jessamine is thinking of more of like, oh, are you just that badass? And she's like, well, not yet, but I would like to be.
Tethala like smiles, like she smirks, kind of knowing, kind of knowing that just means a little naive when it comes to like how like her family and even her adopted family are, and she goes, "Now my other question, just while I'm not in earshot of my daughter, what are your intentions with her?"
I think it really depends on her. It's or them. You don't want no offense,
Yes,
but
I apologize.
Maury's on the doesn't seem like interacts a lot with people, so I don't want to scare them or push them too far. Now the others, they all have like proper people skills, and that is their burden to bear if they do not get the messages. But with them, if they want something, then they get something. If they don't want something, well, sad to say, they're lost, but I have to respect it. Proper noble and every etiquette and all that etiquette. And, you know.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear. I am glad that you understand where you stand and you understand how they are. I will say that should they reciprocate your feelings, understand that I can read your mind and I know what those feelings are. Should they reciprocate your feelings and you, by chance, break their heart, I will break your bones. Slowly. And on that, we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
The people whose bones have been threat encounter has gone up by 1.
Yeah,
I just-
we're at what, 2 now?
Well, see,
I thought it was gonna stop at me.
You know, like with Hugh, I just imagine, yeah, pure fear. Jessamine's just like checking her nails, going like, no, that's right. If I was the daughter of some gods, or if I was the child of some goddesses and I broke their heart, I absolutely would want to eviscerate the person who broke their heart. So Jessamine's just like, yeah, true.
I think more is she, they.
She they.
So either one's fine. Yeah, I think
Okay,
either
cool.
one's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. God, Maurice is sitting over here, like, looking at Rowan with the most "do not fuck my mom" eyes that they can possibly want to.
Rowan's looking at you back with the most "I'm definitely gonna fuck your mom."
I haven't properly gotten to use Tethala in a campaign the way Tethala is meant to be used. This is the first time.
Rowan is the perfect person to do this with too.
Do not fuck my mom. You don't have to fuck my mom.
But she does have to fuck your mom.
No.
The outcome of this has already been decided, love. I'm just along for the ride.
I will say, the moment Tethala said, "I'm not going to kill you," Hugh's immediate thought was, "Oh god, that's so much worse."
Yeah, no, it's
I'm glad to see Belle quickly picked up on that.
Oh god. I just heard, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" And I was like, I'm dead.
so I'm gonna mute. I will be back shortly.
Cheers, Belle.
Hello on the VRB screen.
Okay, cool. from my little break. I appreciate everybody for hanging in there and hanging out. What did I miss while I was away, everybody? What do y'all think of ThePaladinBelle?
We're just talking, and we got to the point where it was like, Maury's like, we were talking, and it was like, he's like, you have a crush on Jessamine. It's very obvious. And Maury being like, what's a crush? I don't have a crush. And
Don't
he's like,
play,
"Stop."
don't play dumb. Stupid's a bad look on you.
And then Jessamine's like, no, it's a good look on you, actually.
So, question. So here's
This
the
is all
question.
out of
Yeah.
Okay,
game, out
I
of
was about to
character.
say, if you said that in front of ThePaladinBelle, remember that bit about breaking all of your bones?
Yeah, that is the nicer thing she's gonna do to him. By the way,
Oh, yeah.
what's that knife she dropped into his lap?
So we're gonna come back from the BRB, Poppy, whenever you're ready.
Yep.
And obviously we'll wait on Celeste to get back.
I put you back on the like little table screen and everything.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome back, everybody, to our game. When we left off, ThePaladinBelle was being a flirt and horribly intimidating, all at the same time.
Truly, that's only a god can have.
Yeah, exactly. So, question for Hugh: does he open the knife?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the blade of this particular knife is made of a deep blue material, and it has some runes sketched on it. This is a knife of recall. Wherever you lay the sheath, you can recall the blade. You can recall yourself to wherever it is placed. Essentially, if you hide the scabbard of the blade, you can bamf out. It's a get out of jail free card.
So you're saying Hugh can just pull the scabbard out, hide it under the piano, or like next to the piano,
Yep.
and then just at any point in time in the campaign, just nope, and just
Yes.
go back to the piano.
So it opens a gate. It uses the spell gate and opens a portal to specifically wherever the scabbard is. So it's not just Hugh, everyone can bamf out if need be.
Lovely, excellent. Now the scabbard itself is part of the enchantment, so if you were to say put it in a slightly worse scabbard from a completely different knife, it wouldn't enchant the new scabbard.
No, it wouldn't enchant the new scabbard. It would just have a another scabbard.
Lovely. If that's the case, then he's going to, sort of hide the scabbard like right between the wall and one of the piano legs, so he can just get back to the bar whenever trouble arises.
Wonderful. And we now after Hugh kind of discovers what the knife does, just taking time to do so.
Mm-hmm.
We cut back over to Jessamine. How is Jessamine reacting to literally being told, "I will break your fucking bones"?
I think like what I was saying previously,
Mhm.
she rationalized it's going like, no, that makes sense. Just the way that you like who she is as a person and what Maury represents. And it's like, yeah, if I was in your shoes, I would do the exact same thing. So
I'm glad you understand.
she's taking it with a stride versus like, I'll break your bones if you break, like, if it was some like peasant telling them, or like other person going like, yeah, sure, you're gonna break my bones.
But this is
Yeah.
a literal god.
This is a literal god, so she respects that, and she's like, yeah, I'm not. She is putting up the image of like, yeah, I'm not that stupid. I'm not stupid enough to purposely get myself killed by breaking your daughter's heart.
And now my other question is,
Yeah.
what is going on in her head?
I think it's a mix match of the giddiness of like, sweet, I made 2 wins with both of the mobs. Score. But also just like, okay, treat this one slow. Go really slow. She is not a good public speaker or good with communication. Does she even know what is hand holding too much for her? This she starts to rationalize like, okay, what's too much and what's not. In her head.
Tethal just kind of smile upon hearing that and go, I know she's not as social as you are, but she is an adult. She does know what hand holding is, dear.
I think she just grins and be like, you do know her better.
Other than that little warning, my wife seemed quite smitten with you. She very, very much loved the fact that you could play music beautifully for her. I will extend this courtesy to you, and she will offer you a playwright or a playbill.
Ooh.
At first, it is empty. It's just an empty pamphlet. But as you grab it, it says Jessamine's full name as the top billing of the amphitheater in Moon's Reach. Now, Moon's Reach is where Jessamine studied.
Yes.
And she knows that the amphitheater is the single largest venue in the world. It is like only a chosen few get to play the amphitheater. Should you survive, bring that playbill to the amphitheater in Moon's Reach, and I will allow you to play an entire concert. Good luck.
I think Jessamine is just visibly vibrating in like excitement, and she does like a little polite cough in her hand. It goes, may I ask a question real quick?
You may.
Permission to hug?
Yes.
Jessamine does like those like really like proud like thank you kind of hugs. Albeit she is not as strong.
Tethala will scoop you up.
Yeah.
Tethala will scoop you up by your waist and like hug you in like one of those like one of your friends that's like gives back cracking really nice hugs, and then set you down, pat you on top of the head, and go. Also, if you want the toad to move, if she's ever got it on her head, just my suggestion is if you know how to throw your voice at all, the sound of crickets, and she'll wink and head out of the bar.
She nods her head and just like shouts like a very dutiful thank you. I'll do you proud. And your daughter.
At that, she goes, "Oh, I know you will. I know you will." And she will head out. Question: had Rowan already left the bar at this point?
I don't know if she's back.
Sage's still here.
Yeah,
okay.
She may be
So
still.
we will wait. I will wait on that question. Maury.
Quick
Yeah.
stupid question. Sorry, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that I'll do you proud and your daughter I'm going to do your daughter, or I'm going to do your daughter proud?
I don't know. It could be
Yes.
both. The answer is just yes. Why not both?
Why not
Oh,
both?
my
Both is
God.
good.
Anyway, thank you for
so-
telling me.
Maury,
Yeah.
you see your mom after a short conversation, a little out of your earshot.
It's your conversation.
Leave.
None of my business.
After hugging your friend, who had taken an interest in you the day before.
Uh-huh.
What is Mori doing?
I think trying to figure out, like, okay, so this is very normal. Everyone somehow seems to either get along with my mom, be bad with my moms, or want to fuck my mom. There's no in between.
Yep, that's your normal everyday life.
I think right now it's just like, since we don't know if Rowan's there or not, I think she's just kind of watching Jessamine. Like, I don't even think it's like on purpose. It just sort of like her eyes sort of just fell there. She's like sort of watching the entire thing and just like looking at Jessamine, looking at her mom, but mostly looking at Jessamine as her mom is like just finally gone. It's like just absent-mindedly staring. Is
Now
she
here's
here?
the
Is she
question.
present? Who knows? Yeah.
Here's the question. What's
Yes.
going on in Maury's head?
My very good question. It's a lot of minor, like, so you know, like people who like know that they're probably gay, but like they haven't like sorted out the logistics of it yet.
Yes, absolutely.
Her thoughts just keep circling back to Jessamine in like weird tangents, and it's like her face is a little red, just a little bit.
You
It's
would-
like a lot of trailing thoughts that lead back to that.
You would be able to know that your mother can communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and she just kind of pops into your head and goes, "I like this one. I approve."
I think just raise her face in her hands.
Aw, don't be shy. I think this one likes you too, from what I can tell.
There's no comprehensible words. Only
Audible
English.
bottom text.
Oh, audible bottom text. Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's audible bottom text. While we
So,
while we wait to see
here is another thing that you guys can do in the bar. There are the party members of the other adventuring party that came to the village. Would you like to try and maybe chat one of them up to get information?
Oh, fuck. Let me close this out. We could looks over at Crow. Oh,
I also hear noise.
hey, welcome back. We
Welcome back.
so in case you dismissed it, my mom talked to me in my head and said I approve of this one, and oh my god, don't be shy. I think she likes you too. And Maury's having a gay crisis at the moment.
Is this regarding Jessamine?
Yeah, this is regarding
Gotcha.
Jessamine. So here is my questions since you're back. Has Rowan left the bar yet?
Rowan is waiting for her second attempt at having breakfast to be. Oh no, wait, she had a hero's feast. Never mind.
Yeah, she had a
No,
hero's
you
feast.
can get a
So
second breakfast, third breakfast.
you can get another breakfast, but you do see Tethala walking out of the bar with two of those burrito things that your sister brought in.
Okay. Do I get the inclination that one's for me, or is Tathala a
I
hungry
mean-
goddess and she wants both?
You could ask. That's always an option.
Yeah. I think Rowan will smile and say, "What you got there?"
Oh, I was informed that you didn't get a chance to eat yours.
Yeah, I was kind of dealing with a lot of stress and I crashed it.
Yeah, that's what your sister said. Would you like this one,
Yeah.
dear?
If
She'll
you're
hand it to you.
offering,
Oh, absolutely.
then gladly I would.
Would you like me to accompany you to the library?
That would be very much appreciated, actually.
Wonderful. And you all see Rowan leave the bar with Tethal.
Oh, very cool. Great. I think before Rowan walks away, Mortis looks at her and goes, "Please don't fuck my mom today." Please.
Rowan shrugs her shoulders and keeps going.
No guarantees.
Very cool.
I think Jessamine just notably pouts, rolls her eyes. Oh, you can't really see. There's no pupils. Rolls her eyes and then orders a drink. Like, well,
Okay.
I'm not having fun today. Boo.
So what would you like to drink? Because they have a lot of shit.
She would probably.
How strong is it that she's looking to drink? Is my question.
She'll probably get the same sparkly drink that Rowan bought her last night.
Okay.
Really expensive champagne.
Yeah, it was Talos Chardonnay. It's the single second most expensive drink in the world.
Hey, Belle,
But
because
yes.
Huffy's not here to say it, cute sneeze.
Fuck you. But so the bartender goes, well, your tab's paid. The goddess happened to pay your tab, so I can offer you this. And he'll pull out a second bottle and go, however, you are one of the infernal blood, so I will also offer you this. And he'll pull out this little red bottle. It's like an 8-ounce bottle, and on the top of it is a cork with like devil horns coming out of it. This is what we call fun in a bottle.
Okay. I like it. You've already sold me. Go on.
All right. And he'll pop the cork and he'll pour it into a glass, and it is this bubbling red liquid with like almost not smoke but steam coming off the top of it. He goes, this comes straight from the Nine Hells. It is an elixir that allows those with the infernal blood, you like yourself, to experience a moment in the court of Thorin Hellqueen. Should you wish it, I can just pour it back and cork the bottle again.
No. You can't. Just show me a drink. Tell me what it's called, and then go, well, if you don't want it, and try to put it away. No, I'm interested. Trust me. You have sold me, darling.
Does Jessamine drink the bottle?
Sure. This is her flaw. Her fatal flaw is drinks and carnal pleasure. Fuck yeah.
Wonderful. So for a moment, when it hits your tongue, it is probably the best thing you've ever tasted. Something about instinctually, it feels almost natural to be ingesting this to you. It's a pleasure that you've never felt in your entire life, but somehow your body remembers it almost as if this was what you were meant to be eating and drinking. And then in a moment, you find yourself in a large obsidian hall. Tables and chairs set out, and you sit on a stage with beautiful golden velvet curtains, and in front of you, seated in the only seat in the room, is a large draconic woman with deep pale skin, large green wings, and huge black horns. Her hands extend into claws, and her legs drip down into that of a pair of dragon's legs. This is Thoraine Hell Queen. Welcome, Jessamine, darling. Did you enjoy the fruits of my labor?
Coyly
The
as
wine
always.
of the nine
Yeah.
hells.
Yeah. Coyly as ever. She's just like, of course I did. It was extravagant.
Wonderful. Do me a favor, dear, since you are already on stage. Play me a song.
Okie dokie. Do you want
Roll
me
me
to make
a performance check.
Okay.
I'm just imagining her kicking her little feet when she goes, okay.
Well, she was probably thinking, like, is it a disservice to pull out another god's lyre to play music?
She would hear in her head, no.
Okay.
No, it is not.
Yeah, that would be her moment of hesitation, going like, to
Just an immediate, and there's an immediate telepathic answer from
Okay.
from the draconic woman in front of you. Her eyes glowing a bright green as you hear it in your head.
Only a 15.
You play a nice, soft tune for the goddess, and she smiles. Advertised better, but still good. What do you know of me, dear Jessamine?
I felt like you gave me flavor text for this one, unless I'm wrong.
Which...
That's why I'm double
I
checking.
think I might have.
No. That's a different god. It was Malakar that you gave me
Yes.
information
yes.
about. I don't know. Would I have to make a history or religion check?
Religion. This would be a religion check.
Religion.
As you are a tiefling, I will give you advantage on this particular check.
Okie dokie. Alphabetical order. 17.
You would know that this is the goddess of the nine hells and mother of all tiefling. A tiefling can be born to any parent in the world of UEs. It is the goddess's blessing to be given a tiefling child, and a tiefling bloodline in and of itself is so rare in UEs, like a continuous tiefling bloodline, that those who do have tiefling parents and then are a tiefling child are surely thought to be blessed by the goddess.
Oh, no wonder this family has an ego. Oh no.
Oh yeah. No, your family are very, very devout worshippers of this god. I would even go so far as to say your father was likely at one point in his life a cleric to this god before becoming what he is today.
Yeah, before becoming a sleazeball. Yeah. She'll do that pointed look at thought, finger on her lips as she's thinking, and and they'll snap a finger and be like, "Well, from what I remember, you are my parents' biggest fan. I believe I don't know, maybe, of course you know. Belushin Yeldrin, I think he was
I do.
one of your devoted fans in the clerical sense.
Technically he still is. He often sends me new denizens in his line of work, though it is what I've asked him to do. So He's not doing anything out of what I told him. Now, my question to you, dear Jessamine, is... now, my question to you, dear Jessamine, is... Do you know why you're here? I did not say nude, Denison. I said new.
I mean, it would track for her
New?
family.
It would. It absolutely would. Do you know why you were brought specifically to this layer of the hells when you drank what is essentially poison?
Oh, not necessarily, no. I was just convinced by the very charming bartender to try a drink. And here we are.
Yes, that very charming bartender works for me, as a matter of fact.
Oh, delightful.
I have chosen you to be to educate my granddaughter. I wish for her to see the world, and once this is done and everything you need to accomplish is accomplished, you and Mori and the rest of your adventuring party, should they accept my kind offer. Don't tell them, for I will offer it myself later. Should they accept, I will be sending you all to a little place known as the Dragonland, a beautiful tropical area, to potentially rescue one of my children. And should you accept this little boon of mine, I will reward all of you greatly. But you, specifically, are to help Mori see the world. Am I clear?
Oh, no, that's... I don't have any rush getting back home, and So in my entire couple of months I have here or there before I have to inherit the business is to see the world, and if Mori wants to come, they're more than happy to do it.
Wonderful.
But their
Now,
choice, unfortunately.
We'll see about that. Now, when you return to the plane of the mortal, you will find yourself in possession of a new ability for 24 hours. If you channel your anger into your strength, you will it can help you upon your journey. Essentially what this elixir does is for 24 hours you have the ability Rage as if you were a barbarian.
Oh, perfect.
Oh no.
Me, a
Oh,
sword
God.
bard with armor of Agathis, please hit me, I dare you.
Yeah, absolutely. Armor of Agathis and now resistant to non-magical damage.
Yeah. Jessamine would literally be like, no, honey, please hit me. You don't understand.
Jessamine, you find yourself snapped back to reality as you are back in the bar room, surrounded by now bustling patrons. And Mori, what are you doing? As you see Jessamine's eyes, normally you can't really tell what they're doing, but they even now look more glazed than normal.
I think she's just like sort of keeping an eye over her, just to make sure everything's good, but also probably catching herself just like gaily staring at Jessamine while she waits.
Jessamine, you come back to a longing, very gay glance from Mori. Like, you come back just in time to see one of these.
Oh, the moment she shows recognition, it's like somebody spacing out just spaced back in. It's like immediately it's like, oh fuck. Oh shit.
Darling, usually I ask people to pay to do that, but
Oh, sorry.
you should probably not make it so obvious. Though I appreciate the staring.
I was making sure that nothing happened while you were spaced out, whatever that was.
I'm fine. I'm perfectly capable. Years of bar training. Besides, this little thing, and she'll pat the side of, like, her rapier, will warn me when danger is here.
I mean, you did miss earlier. My mom threw someone out, like physically. It was wild.
Yeah, and your
good to know.
mom
Like,
is
you're
now,
good.
looping our little farmer gal around the finger.
I know.
Tathala just very, very subtly looping. Honey, she's already looped.
Now the
I
question
know.
begs. No, okay. I won't bring this up with you. I will bring this up with the other one. That's fine. Don't worry,
fine.
your little head, or your frog's head. Toad.
Toad.
Toad. Amphibian, yes.
I can't worry. He's got his own thoughts and feelings going on up there. I don't know. He has a bit of an ego, but that's
Of course I have an ego. Of course I have an ego. I'm a badass. He says in common.
Oh, great!
I think she falls off the bar stool, dead ass, just falls off. I think she dead ass just like stays on the ground.
The toad leapt off and landed on the bar.
Oh my god. Oh, cool. Great. Okay.
You should probably get back up.
You never heard of an enchanted toad before?
You didn't.
I mean, I've seen familiars before with certain things, and I guess some people have potentiality for speaking creatures, but...
He was... No, by all means, he just showed up on my boat, and I assumed he was just a random little guy. I think she's, like, trying to, like, catch her thoughts together as she's scrambling to get up.
No, I'm not just some little guy. I am Thoril Woodsheart. Nice to meet you both.
Sorry, DM Thrill Woodsheart?
Thoril Woodsheart. Here, I'll type it.
Oh my god, Thoril, oh my god. Okay, hold on. Thoril. Okay, cool. So you could talk this whole time.
Absolutely, I could.
A good thing I didn't actually give you a name, because I didn't think I had to give you one. I just kind of let you live in the space.
Yeah, we were just vibing. You're a really good roommate.
Hey, I try my best. Very cool. Says, oh yay. Justine is, oh, cool, it talks. And Maury's like, oh my god, it can fucking talk. Excuse, he's not slimy. Toads notoriously are very rough.
Yeah, rough-skinned. If anything, this is like a tiny slod.
Like a tiny slug?
No, slod, like the demon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And he just kind of goes, Yeah, no, I'm technically cursed. If
Uh-huh.
there is a way to break it. I'm just not allowed to know what it is. Apparently,
I
I
mean,
broke some oath to some lady with 4 arms. It is what it is.
can I try to put my brains together to figure out who it is, based on like my sort of knowledge?
Yeah, roll. Let's say insight, because I don't know if you believe what he's saying or not. Let's go ahead and roll insight.
3. No, I don't.
No,
I don't believe him. You know, I'm sure. I'm very sure. Mm-hmm.
What'd you roll?
What? I rolled a 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you are actually very convinced that he's telling the truth. Roll either knowledge history or knowledge religion.
Religion. Which one am I better with? Let me see. A low roll being like, you definitely believe him, which means this motherfucker's lying. Lying to my fucking face. This is fine. I can't roll. At all. It's a 7.
Because of which one did you roll? That's the question.
Religion.
Okay, so because you're a demigod, I'm gonna give you pretty much all religion checks at advantage.
Okay. I was just gonna say, because Maury's brain is sort of funk.
Yeah, it's kind of fried.
Now, if I roll low again, the brain's just done. That's a 14. It takes some time.
It takes you a minute, but you remember back to the Christmas party conversation you had earlier. Your Aunt Shalara has 4 arms.
So we're. I think her face is just like a full, like, emotional journey of and ooh.
You'll also remember, while all the other gods like fawn over the toad, 2 very specific ones don't.
Yeah.
Those being Shalara, the goddess of darkness, and Rhiannon, the goddess of love.
So what did you do to piss her off?
Apparently, I forswore some oath that I took to protect these kids, and I don't know.
You know what? That makes sense. That tracks.
I just like vibing.
I think Maury just looks over at Jessamine to get her read on this entire thing.
I think Jessamine just starts drinking. Just gonna pretend she is obviously not trying to engage in this conversation.
Maury's looking at her with the most, I don't know how to get out of this.
Find your way out of it. You could do it.
You know, Snooty, I was a better bard than you'll ever be.
Hey, I don't think we wanna start a fight.
That was directed at you, Jessamine.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Hold on. Hold on, let me. She's not Lysandra, who can just do things, it just happens. Come on, roll 20. Please. She just kind of rolls her eyes and goes, of course. A little toad who can suddenly talk is a... You can be a bard for little folk. I believe that. Yes, you are certainly better at entertaining the flies.
Oh
The
no,
skippers?
sweetheart. I played the amphitheater.
Oh, congrats! I'm also invited to that, so I also will be playing. So we're kind of on the same playing field, honey.
No. You break this curse, and I will prove to you
I'm not
that
interested.
I can beat you.
No, I don't care. Sorry. You pissed off a god, you probably deserve it. And she just goes back to drinking.
I mean, I'm also in the business of staying in good terms with my relatives. So,
Look, here's the deal. All I need to break this curse is for the vampire to die. You're gonna do that anyway.
Could you like just call your mother and just have them like, you know, put them in like a little cage and keep them somewhere in the divine realms?
It depends on which mom. One of them is more prone to violence than the other one is. And I'm also sort of on an open line to both of them.
Technically, Mori is on an open line to any god she really wants to be. If she wanted to call upon literally any of her relatives, all it would take is a thought toward them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't you just want to like give them like, you know, a cute and adorable, totally not a sleazy toad?
I mean,
She would know very specifically that Rhiannon wants to fucking kill this thing.
Oh my. I had a terrible idea. Just but both in character and out of character, I guess, is her just going, I have a terrible idea.
Okay, what is the idea?
Trog likes him, right?
Oh yeah, Trog loves him. Trog loves him. You do know, however, that to summon Trog, you have to say very specific code phrase. Now, my question is, do you know the lyrics to the chorus of Dance Magic by David Bowie? You as the player.
I don't listen to David Bowie. I've never heard his music.
It's the song
Joke's
from the Labyrinth.
I do.
No, it's fine. You know what? I'm gonna go put him back on the boat. Whatever he does after that is up to him. But I want some fresh air. And hope that somehow nothing else pops up today before I lose it.
So, Mori, roll a perception check.
Yeah. No, so, while I do that, the dumb idea was, hey, Trog, you want to spend a day with the toad that you love so much?
Jesus Christ.
Perception. God, I can't roll good today. This is not her day. It's not their day.
It's just like, you know, in those like corny TV or cartoon shows, everything it's just Jessamine in the periphery the whole entire time with music playing.
Yeah.
What was the roll?
Oh, sorry. It's a 6.
So it takes the bartender a little prodding, but he'll go, I was told to give you this, and it's a scroll. And on this scroll, in a wax seal, is the holy symbol of Trog.
Yeah.
You thought out to him, so he's contacted you. Inside the scroll reads, you remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power. The power of voodoo. Who do you do? What? Remind me of the babe. And at the very end, as the bartender recites it, you see a portal, a green portal, open in 3 segments. And stepping out of it is a well-dressed, beautifully clothed man. He's a tiny little goblin with 3 perpetually wet, combed-over strands of hair over the top of his head. This is Trog, god of thieves and liars.
I fucking love this.
Wait a minute, hold on. Trog only has 3 strands of hair?
3 strands of perpetually wet, combed-over hair.
I pick up my my boy Thorol Wood's heart. I pick him up in my gay little hands. I walk over the truck. I go, hey, buddy, listen. How do you feel about spending a day with this little guy while I go and do some stuff?
You see his smile, he was already smiling at you because he likes you. He's a big fan. You
Yes.
see what his normal smile is go from ear to ear, razor sharp teeth showing. Oh, Maury, you've brought me such a gift today. Would you
Just
like to bring your friends into the shop and maybe
I
all of you together can pick out a level 1 item?
I mean, I look over to gauge everyone's reaction. Because if their reaction is like an it's like, they'll probably, what's their reaction to this man? Because I'm pretty sure they can hear him.
Yeah, he's loud enough where Jessamine and Hugh can both hear.
The moment Trog shows up, Hugh just snaps attention to Trog and just. I suggest we take him up on this deal. I have some items I wish to purchase.
Hugh, my boy! Hello! Hello,
You
Hugh!
want to join them?
Sure.
At
This could be
first,
interesting.
Hugh is.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Just bring him back by the end of the day. I just need a break. There's been too much going on.
Understood,
I need a
understood.
second.
Crow, you were saying something. What was it?
Oh, I was just gonna be. At first, Hugh was a little taken aback by the fact that a god has shown up and does not want him dead. This is a first for him.
My favorite little charlatan. Come with me. Come on.
Hugh just quickly trying to keep in step with Trog because even though Trog is about what half of Hugh's height,
Trog is
still...
3 foot solid, like no 3 foot even.
Yeah, so about half of Hugh's height. Trog is still faster than Hugh by a long
by
shot.
a lot. By a lot, yeah. Trog is that like sassy gay man walk. It's like the really fast I walk everywhere with purpose and everyone can get out of my way walk. That's how Trog walks.
Okay, but everyone can get out of his way.
Yeah, exactly. Or get bowled over, that's the other option. So, as you all enter Trog's Emporium of Wondrous Goods, you see a menagerie of magic items all around you in a massive warehouse style, aisle upon aisle of like shelves of weapons and items and wondrous creations, and there's even like a large like almost zoo-like area that's like a menagerie for you to get animal companions and familiars. This place is massive, and right in the little corner where the checkout aisle is, where Trog would kind of plop himself behind the counter, taking the toad and putting him in a little cage and hanging him. And he'd go, "You may, as a group, pick out one level 1 rare item or lower item from my shop. Know that these items come from all over the multiverse, not just our humble little world, but anywhere your heart desire. You can have an item. I had a man once. His name was Zephyr. He got a pair of gloves that could encase small beads of magic inside of them. He used them to help defeat many, many evils, and also open a massage parlor. He's a good fellow. While also we have provided items of mass destruction to people, such as bombs and things of that nature. It all depends on what you're looking for. So what can I interest all of you in?
Huh.
As the DM to the players,
Yes.
anything you can think of, pop culture, video games, whatever, it's here.
Why would you do this?
Oh, this is a thing that has existed in UEs the entire time. This is a thing that I allow all of my parties to do at least one time, is visit Trog's shop. Because Trog doesn't trade in gold. No, he trades in something far more valuable. The only thing you can trade for a magical item is either another magical item or an item of equal sentimental value to that of the magical item.
And I offered him a toad in which he admires. So he gets a whole day with the toad.
No,
Oh my God.
he likes the idea of holding the toad. He does not particularly. You don't think
Yeah,
you don't.
he
You
can
get
hold
the
it.
sense that upon him putting in a cage, he has sinister motives
Yeah.
behind getting the toad.
You know what? I did say just bring him back, and by the end of the day, I didn't. You know what? I didn't specify. That's his
And
prerogative.
Rowan's still at the library?
If
I
Rowan
got-
would like, Rowan could have come back right at this moment, and we will so that Rowan can enter the shop. But we will
Okay.
go back and role play the moment at the library with Tethala.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, yes. I would like to participate in this bullshit.
Yeah, Rowan may in fact enter. You see Rowan enters right as she sees her party entering this like green gated portal.
Well, I think Rowan just sighs and goes, "Why do I always miss all of the fun, outrageous things?"
You see Trog pop out. I mean, you didn't miss this one. You can come on in.
Oh, okay. And she runs it.
Once everyone's in the shop, Hugh whispers in Trog's ear, and I'm just gonna DM you what he says real quick.
Alrighty.
God, I don't even know.
Ah, see, Hugh. That is something I can do for you.
But I assume it's not a level 1 item.
No. That's something far different. See, to do that, I would need the help of someone else. For that, I would need the help of Mifune the Soul Stitcher.
I hate to be that person, but I don't recall who that is.
She's a powerful entity that exists between life and death. She's kind of a psychopomp. But I can see what I can do. If you can bring me 3 magical items, I will get you what you've asked for. Or an item that you hold very dearly to you.
You see Hugh weigh his options really quick as he sort of tugs on his cloak near the edges, just thinking. I will see the 3 items I can get for you.
Wonderful. And he will hand Hugh his own scroll to return.
Okay.
Any item from anywhere is such a broad and terrifying scope of what we can get.
So understand that any item that you think of will be rated on a scale of 1 to 4, depending on how powerful or how outrageous the item is. Like a level 2 item for one of my campaigns was the Warthog from Halo.
But Claire, not Claire, Belle, you can't do this to me. You can't give me these options.
If I remember correctly, wasn't the Gen 1 Omnitrix a level 1 item?
Oh
Yes.
my
What?
God.
Yes, the Gen 1 Omnitrix is a level 1 item. The Venom symbiote is a level 1 item.
Rowan would have no way to ask for this or know what it is, but I had such an amazingly awful idea.
Well, tell me what the awful idea is, and I can say that Rowan can see it in the shop. Each item on the shelves has a description of where it comes from.
Okay. Okay, hear me out. Okay, I had to like get myself ready to say it because of how ridiculous it is. Now, in the particular wording, does Rowan have to kill the Vesper Demon, or does she simply have to defeat the Vesper Demon?
She has to kill the Vesper Demon.
Damn. Okay.
Specifically
So it would
using
work
the card.
anyways.
I want to know what the item was, though.
I jokingly was like a Master Ball, so that I could catch the Vesper Demon.
The Master Ball is a level 3 item.
Yeah,
It
that
is
makes sense.
It is tiered with other Pokeballs in a large display, with the standard Pokeball, the Premier Ball, and the Rocket Ball all being together. And slowly, as it tiers up, you have the Ultra Ball and the Great Ball as level 2 items, the Master Ball, and so on, level 4 items, or level 3 items. And then there is a specific type of Pokeball that is black with like gray, almost accoutrement to it. It's the Pokeballs used by Mewtwo in Pokemon the Movie 2000.
Oh my god.
And those are level 4 items.
That's Pokemon the first movie.
Yeah, Pokemon the first movie. Thank you. 2000 was
Lugia.
Lugia.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my favorite
thank you.
movie.
We should do a watch party in the.
We should do a watch party of it. Okay. I knew that you would have Pokeballs here.
Oh yeah, no, Pokeballs are definitely a thing.
My brain goes to the Ocarina.
The Ocarina of Time.
Of Time?
Sure, or the basic one, either or.
So either Saria's Ocarina or the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Okay. So Saria's Ocarina is here, and it is a level 1 item.
Mhm.
The Ocarina of Time is a level 3 item because of its time traveling properties.
Yes.
But yeah, the Ocarina, Saria's Ocarina is here in the shop.
What benefits?
And it is a level 1 item.
Yeah, but what benefits would that come with?
It gives you pretty much an unlimited use of the message spell to one particular person. You can pick one person, and that person in particular can be messaged, such as Link messaging Saria.
Yeah.
And each song does one, like from Ocarina of Time, does a different effect. Zelda's Lullaby casts Sleep. The Song of Storms call Lightning. They cast different spells.
Okay, cool.
And the temple songs, the ones that like teleport Link around,
Yeah.
will teleport you to the temples of different gods.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the Ocarina of Time does the time traveling.
Yep. And also does all of the same spells, but stronger and more times a day.
Yeah, okay. Cool. That'd be interesting. I was just thinking, ha, Song of Time, Daylight. Ha.
Yeah, no, the song that does that changes it from night
Yeah,
to day.
today, yeah.
But remember, the vampire in the Zima, they are immune to sunlight.
Yeah. But what if he's scared of the moon? Who knows?
Oh.
There's also
What if he
moonlight.
has triskaidekaphobia or anatophobia?
Yeah, but so Jess has sent me Void sent me something, and it's tugging at my nerddom. It's tugging at my nerddom because it's a Castlevania item.
Oh god.
Listen, the one that I wanted, I was like, I actually can't use that weapon, so I can't ask
What
for it.
what
I
is
didn't
the
hear
one
it.
that you wanted? That is the question.
My first thought was, God, the Belmont, the guy with in the anime with the whip.
The
Trevor.
vampire killer?
Yeah, the whip guy.
You're a monk. You can use whips. From what I
I
understand.
have
From what I remember.
it's simple weapons. Whips are melee weapons.
Ah, okay,
melee,
cool.
melee martial weapons. But that
So,
one's in my purview.
to be trained, so the Morning Star whip specifically is a level 3 item because it
Yeah,
can kill
sure.
death.
Yeah, I was like, I was gonna ask about it first, but I figured I was like, can't hurt to
But
ask.
the Vampire Killer whip, the like consecrated whip that Trevor uses in season 1,
That
is
one.
only a level 1 item.
god.
And you can get through trading either things that are sentimental to you or a magic item, a tome of training, which can give you proficiency in martial weapons.
So the consecrated whip. That's the level 1 one.
Yep, that is a level 1 item.
I am chill with that one.
Well, is
I
it
need
one
something different.
item for everyone? Like
It is
as a
one
whole?
item for the party.
Yeah.
Oh, for the party. I thought it
Yeah.
was just one per person. Oh, never mind then. Never
Well,
mind
you
on that one.
can
This
if
is-
you trade
you-
in a magic item or something valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look through my stuff while you.
Oh, okay. It's one for the whole
Whole
party.
party.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is
That's
one
why-
for the full party.
That's why I was thinking of vague ideas. Like the ocarina would just be something anyone who has it on them could
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. The
Hey,
ocarina.
Belle.
Yes.
What are the odds that there's a Spartan laser?
Oh, it's there. There's a full set of Mjolnir armor. Mark 3, or it's Mark. You have a
That
Mark.
I couldn't do.
You have Mark 4 through 7 Mjolnir armor, a Spartan laser. There's a spanker. There's the M4, the MA40. There's the battle rifle. Any of the Halo weapons exist here. Especially sitting over Trog's specific like little area where he sits is the Arbiter's sword, the
Oh,
red
gee.
bladed energy sword. Yeah.
Oh God. You see, the thing that I debate, because this is so funny, is because Rowan is a Covenant of Steel warlock. She
Mhm.
can absorb weapons and put them into her packed weapon, which is Icarn.
That's right. That's right.
I do like the ocarina for the whole party though. I think that.
Ocarina for the whole party is really good. I debate if I want to get a weapon for just Rowan.
There's also the white file from Skyrim, which just constant reusable health potion.
That's true.
Mm.
The Estus flask is also another one.
That's good too. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, I didn't even think Skyrim. Oh God.
Marin's razor is
God.
sitting in. There's a glass case right where Trog's sitting. Right in like the front is Marin's razor and the mace of Molag Bal.
Ugh.
And Dawnbreaker or the Meridian
Dawnbreaker.
one. Yeah, thank you. All 3 of those items are just kind of in his
Now-
display case.
Dawnbreaker specifically in Skyrim, because there's no holy or divine damage coded in the game. It does fire damage. It burns targets. That's the
Yeah.
specific wording that is used.
So
And when killing an
in
undead,
D-
it has a chance to cause a fiery explosion.
So
my
what I
parents
do,
put
what
that
I
in
do
their
is
version of
because I
Skyrim.
had a wonderful, I have a wonderful, amazing girlfriend who was very kind
Mm.
to me and gave me this item at one point. So I have a full stat sheet for Dawnbreaker. Basically
God.
on a nat 20, you get a 1d10 10-foot radius radiant damage burst.
Okay.
And the sword itself deals radiant damage upon striking. And it is a +2 longsword.
Can I convince you to have it be fire damage? Because that's the damage type it has in Skyrim. Or if we want to rule that it's radiant, I'm fine with it.
So it's ruled that it's radiant simply for the fact that it should have been radiant in the game, but it didn't exist, if that makes sense.
Yeah, radiant is not like there's no divine damage type. in
Yeah,
Skyrim.
exactly. We all know that that's a paladin's sword. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, okay. Because the other thing I was debating,
hmm
another one that is a fire weapon. I was
You
debating.
can just get simple enchantments on your current weapon. Like that is a thing that is super super easy for him to do, and it only costs a level 1. Like if you just wanted Ikarn to do fire damage, he can make that happen super easy.
Okay.
The way
'Cause I
he
was
does
thinking of
that is
merging it with.
adding
Oh, go ahead.
the way he does that is adding materia from Final Fantasy.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Super easy to do. He just slots materia in.
Got it. Because I was thinking the unique ancient Nord sword in that one side quest, Red Eagle's
Ooh.
Bane. But
You send me that, and I've not found that in the game. But if you send me like what it does, I can make it appear in Trog's shop.
yeah.
So I think we're all in agreement. The Ocarina sounds dope as fuck, actually, for the group.
Okay.
And then we're all doing, I think everyone was like, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Okay. So, that's really, really cool. All right, I will get that. Statted out.
Okay.
So that's
So-
a no for the minivan.
How would a minivan work? Like, we wouldn't, like, do fossil fuels exist yet?
No,
Oh,
but
no,
see
it's
what
just got bottled
happens
lightning.
is no, what happens is it becomes it morphs to the setting like the warthog became the battle wagon. Essentially what a minivan would be is it would get a crystal generator that works off of pure weave, which is magic. It's pure magical energy, and it pulls that from places of power in the world. They're like magical gas stations. There have been artificers who have learned to like harness them, and you can just get replacement crystals for vehicles. Like that's what airships run on.
Okay.
Only reason I suggest a minivan is it would cut down travel time.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it would 100%, like by a lot.
What do you think, Celeste?
Rowan's gonna be getting her own item.
No, for the group.
I like the ocarina. The idea of a minivan is also funny.
May I suggest a specific van? The mystery machine.
Oh my god.
Destiny would be
I
so
mean-
torn about like we need to get it painted. It's so ugly.
I mean, the
cannot
mystery
see
machines
it.
are
Rowan.
getting nicer than what I was
Rowan
expecting.
has proficiency in land vehicles and can drive the mystery.
Oh yeah, no.
machine.
As soon as Rowan Trog will take Rowan over to the side and go, "This beauty right here went all over the countryside, solving mysteries and defeating monsters, not for the sake of being heroic, just for the simple sake of figuring out a mystery. They were wonderful little troglodytes. I loved those little bastards. They caused mischief for evildoers, and they didn't ask for anything in return except for very large sandwiches. They were fantastic people. Would you like to give a spin?"
Rowan will smile. And will... Oh no, hey Belle. Abby's looking at Wabbajack.
Oh yeah, that's there too. It's in the glass case.
It's just a staff that wild magic surges, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep,
Pretty much.
that's what I
Ah.
thought.
Shame, because I
It's a wild magic. It's a wild magic stick.
Yeah.
It's a wild magic
it doesn't
stick.
turn people randomly into cheese or hordes
Hell.
of chickens.
That's only in the hands of Imp, who
Who-
y'all actually see kind of pouting in the corner because like this is where she lives. Trog is her husband.
Aw.
Belle, I love you, Laura, so much. It's so good.
Oh, since Trog and Imp are in the same place, Hugh
God.
will put on his respectable businessman demeanor once more, and actually, I do have a quick question for an item that I was told could be acquired here. How much for a couple sheets of Mozart's music?
Ah, yes. I don't particularly like him, but here, have this, and he'll just hand it to you.
Hugh will
It's just
smile.
like a photo Xeroxed copy of
Oh yeah, it's
of
just a
Mozart's
couple
music.
pages of sheet music, and Hugh will neatly fold it and put it in his little bag or in his pocket or something, and just mighty kind of you. And he's now just like trying to read it and memorize it, all because Imp once said, "Oh yeah, I prefer Mozart over Claude Debussy."
Ah, yes, I can agree, I can agree. Here's what I suggest to you, however, my dear friend. May I suggest the musical stylings of the Beatles? And he'll point over to a phonograph with records. Uh,
Then I shall take a listen. And
Wonderful.
you see Hugh just sort of standing next to it as he starts setting it up to play various works of the Beatles.
Absolutely. So, uh, Abby,
Yeah.
have you seen the Castlevania anime?
I think I haven't seen the last two
You've
seasons.
seen the first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
with
I haven't
me,
seen the last two. I have
So
to I have to take that anime in slow bursts because of all the blood.
So you know Alucard's floating sword, the floating stock?
Yeah.
That is a weapon, and that is
Dancing
here,
as stock,
and that
I swear.
yeah, and it is a very flamboyant bard weapon.
I think I've said this, like it's on record. The Estoc is my favorite historical sword, period. Like end of story. It's my favorite.
But she would be giving away her aunt's rapier that she gave her.
Oh yeah, no. Trog wouldn't accept that. It's for a very specific reason.
Oh, and
Regina
okay.
Twin Dragon can kick his ass.
Okay. Well, just in that case, Jasmine doesn't have like anything to offer.
Wait. Would Jessamine get the item just by showing Trog that she has that rapier?
Yeah, actually, Trog will go, if you can promise me to keep your aunt off my ass for like a week, I will give you an item.
Honestly, and she'll pull it out of hand. Call this a business deal, of course.
He will shake it very thoroughly and go, yes, I don't have to deal with her when I'm on the ocean just trying to fish.
babe, you're welcome for pitching
No.
that.
Because I was like, Jessamine is rocking, you know, the rapier with fucking Regina Twin Dragon on her hip and the lyre from Priscilla on her other hip.
Yeah, and likely she was given, so as a, this isn't a magical item, but as a like gift going off to college, you were given like a brooch that attaches to your cloak that is just the pirate sigil of Regina Twin Dragon.
Yeah.
So like you have very visible I'm part of her crew items.
I am that bitch.
Yeah, you are that you're the, do you know who I am?
Exactly.
So the mystery machine, a whip,
Or
Roman
the
has to
floating
test
sword.
drive it.
Do we want do we want travel
or
People-
magic?
or
That is the
magic, yeah.
question.
Ooh.
Travel doesn't sound like a bad idea. Plus, I love the idea if we revisit these characters in this future, of just like, oh, the Baron's coming, and this ugly green wagon rolling up.
Jessamine hates
Well,
every single
I
second.
did literally just drop a plot hook for a future one triple shot, like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to
So,
revisit these characters anyways, but like, I love
plan
the
on
idea.
asking you guys to revisit these
I
characters.
love that the gang just gets around in the fucking mystery machine.
You gotta pull Jessamine in and be like, Jessamine, we need to get in the car. Look, it's so ugly. I can't be seen in this. Okay.
We can paint it. Here, hop in the passenger seat. I'm giving it a spin. And tell me what you think.
That changes her mind immediately. Like, all right, I'm getting in the car. Yoo-hoo!
Okay.
Bye-bye!
So, as you both get in the car, you see a series of knobs and dials.
Dials and
Can't speak.
knobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Of knobs and dials, and you see like a little box that has like a slot in it and some cassette tapes underneath it, and Trog goes, "See the little metal key? Put it in the ignition, turn, and then put her in gear. The gear, just put it in just wiggle the little stick until it gets to first."
Wait,
Uh, Okay. Does Rowan make a check with land vehicles to
Yeah,
see?
make me a land vehicle proficiency check.
Jesse,
please.
this is
Okay. What
immediately
is
giving
the
you.
what is the
You're
what
getting,
is the attribute I'm basing it on?
Let me. I gotta double check. I don't have the roll
Yes,
20
you're,
open.
you're
If-
getting a bardic inspiration, and it's
Okay,
just
cool.
it's just a hand on the thigh and be like, you got this.
Please let me use wisdom for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead. Go
Okay.
right ahead and use wisdom.
Okay. Are you helping me or are you giving me a bardic?
I don't think Jessamine could help you.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So you just get a bardic inspiration and a hand on the thigh, and that's it. Just a gentle pat.
Okay. What is your? It's a
Since I do have to
D6.
go here soon. I do want to make one quick joke because it is something I feel like I could do. Just
Yes.
cue picking up a Glock. This sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's a D6 bardic,
Yeah.
right, babe?
Yeah.
Anyways, y'all have a good night.
Yep. Have a
You
good
too,
night.
Crow.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're slowly wrapping up.
So the bardic helped.
Okay. What
I
did
rolled. Without the bardic, it would have been an 8. With the bardic, it is a 14.
Okay. So at first you're almost about to drive into a wall. But you get the hang of it, and the power steering kind of kicks in. You're able to get going. You love this. This is fantastic for you.
Oh,
like,
God.
and Jessamine, even though like the outside was kind of gross, the inside's like nice, and like there's nice carpeting inside. There's like a little cot where you can lay down. It's very nice, and there's a fridge in the back full of like snack foods and drinks, and it's just it's a nice little. It's almost like gliding in your parents' airship, just for the first time. It's not as you don't have to be as prim and proper. You can just kind of relax in this thing.
Are we taking the car? Are we doing it?
Sure. It's gonna be very awkward to get it on a boat to go somewhere else, unless it's like one of like a paper boat situation where it's a folded up car and then we unfold it and the car is here.
I think Rowan will shout out the window. Trog, a question.
Yes.
Would you be able to provide a way to shrink this for convenience?
He will hold up a small little. It looks almost like a pill capsule, and he goes, "This is a dino cap. These little beauties can store up to an entire house." And he'll click it and throw it, and a small house will appear inside of them. I will give you one to carry your van.
I think that's a deal. And then I was looking over here at this flame tongue and was thinking I might pick it up on my own.
Absolutely. What are you going to trade for it?
Given recent events from today, I think she undoes the clasp on her necklace and takes the symbol of the symbol of Titanus that she has, and says, "This was an anchor that allowed me to adapt to the new life that I'm living, and it still means a lot to me. But I think letting this go, on top of just using it to get a helpful item for the future, it's also a way of symbolizing that I think I'm ready to move on to the next leg of my journey. And she'll hand the holy symbol over.
He will smile and gently take it and go, I will see that this finds a proper home with someone who needs it. Take the flame tongue. It is yours.
Fantastic. So I'm going to. I think
Roll
Mori
perception
and...
for Rowan.
Oh, sure. No bardic inspiration anymore. Perception. Natural one. She is too focused on her cool magic weapon.
Yeah, she has no. So I will tell you as the player.
Yeah, what is Rowan missing?
Rowan is missing Trog opening a small portal to a young girl who needs so what he does is he, much like his brother, has a small amount of control of time because he can go through time and space. That's why Imp always mentions it, because when they met, the first thing he said was, I'm a god, I've been through time and space. And she went, show me, just to kind of get him to do it. And then she went, and now I've been through time and space, because my girlfriend's a brat. So Imp was once Huffy's player character.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So what she's not seeing is Trog opening a portal to her younger self and laying it where she found the symbol.
Oh, that's so cute and so mean, and I'm gonna throttle you. Yes, absolutely, that's what happened. You bet your ass. Incredible.
Nice.
What Rowan is fixated on, and what Mori and Jessamine would see, is Rowan taking this, like, I imagine the flame tongue is also a flamberge, just because it would be funny.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's either a flamberge or a Chris, which is just a tiny flamberge.
Yeah, precisely. But she will take the flame tongue, and she will take Ikarn. And she will start, like, pushing them next to each other, like, blade to blade. And they just kind of merge into each other. I feel like Ikarn...
Question.
Answer.
What languages does Rowan speak and or read?
Rowan, she's a very simple girl. She knows 3. She knows Common, she knows Dwarven, and because of her patron and background, she knows Celestial.
Yeah, me too.
That was the one I was looking for. In Celestial, you see on the scabbard of Ikarn, as it changes, it shifts from a script you can't read into Celestial for a brief moment, and you read the word Theo.
Yeah, I'll lead into this. I see what you're going for, and I like it. So the 2 blades merge together, the script changes. I imagine the blade gets a little bit longer and just the slightest bit wavier.
Yep. And flame, when you draw it, flame now comes out with it.
Well, this is the fun thing, is I have to use the sword's command word to do so. So I think she'll hold the blade out and we'll just say, Theo?
As this happens, you feel almost Rowan feel. This is going to be another character moment for Rowan.
Give me them all.
Rowan is Jessamine and Maury both see Rowan's eyes glaze. As Rowan, you're taken back to a time you don't recognize, but you do. Something's familiar about it. Once again, you're not within your own body. You're in the body, but you're not in your father's body either, like you were in your last flashback. When you look down, you see your belly is large and pregnant.
Ah, I see.
your father, Theo, that you now know that is his name, standing across from you, smiling brightly, and a name is spoken, but it's almost like fuzz, like it's like TV static.
I'm guessing, if I'm willing to put a guess here, because this is where Rowan's mind would go, it is the name that it is either the name of Rowan's mother that I'm expecting,
Mm-hmm.
or it's the name Rowan would have had if she were not like adopted and brought
So
up
it's
as
that one.
Rowan.
It is.
Yeah,
It is indeed Rowan's original name, which
but that's not her
will
name.
it will become important later.
Will become important later, but I like to think that the reason why
It's
either whether or
almost
not she does it
TV static
intentionally or
because she
not.
doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah, it's because she doesn't know it, and I think it's also because she doesn't want to hear it.
yeah. So and then she hears the word. She's going to be beautiful, Elaine. And then that is when your mind snaps back and you feel almost stronger than you would have with just the normal Flamberg. Something is unlocked in a Karn that's different. You may now, once per day, use a Karn to change form into a staff.
Ooh.
This staff allows you 3 cantrips.
Okay.
It allows you Sacred Flame.
I already know Sacred Flame.
Okay, it allows you the light cantrip, and then it also allows you, as a cantrip, the spell Tongues.
Okay. So I already know Light and Sacred Flame because of my subclass.
Yep, but this is just what the sword always did in my stats. So.
Yeah, no worries, that's all good.
You can petition for 2 other clerical.
I have some ideas.
Yeah, you should absolutely DM me those later.
Yeah, we'll do.
So now you know both your parents' names. Well, their first names.
Yeah.
Elaine and Theo. As you snap back to reality and your party members.
My sword is on fire, but I think it's not like bright red fire like you would expect it. I think it's like yellowish and kind of like bright white. Is the vibe.
Hell yeah.
And she kind of pops back into the moment.
Yep.
Sorry, one day I'll be done with all the cryptic visions, and that will be delightful. Until that day happens, I guess I'll keep going as I am.
I mean, it'll probably be a while.
That's fair.
Probably be a while.
I think Rowan will look around and go, Torg, question.
Trog, but yes.
Trog. Oh, that's my bad. That's my bad.
That's okay.
You know, Rowan will own it. She'll go, oh, shite, sorry. Out of curiosity, since I happen to have this brand new enhancement to my weapon, do you happen to have anything nearby that I can give a good whack to?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. And he turns to the cage with the toad in it. And he snaps his fingers. And suddenly, there's a halfling inside that cage.
Halfling bard?
Yep.
Just do it. It was
Does
so
Rowan
annoying.
know who it is?
Oh yeah. He's wearing this. He's wearing the symbol of the Weaver's Guild and
Okay.
the Weaver and everything.
Rowan will intentionally, like, take off the leather straps binding her shield to her arm and let her shield hit the floor. Take a Karn with both hands. And say,
Oh
You
shit.
already know who I am, don't you?
Oh shit. 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 Hi there.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hey.
Get to know each other.
Well, at least you're
Wow.
alive, right? Right? I did my job. You're alive. You're safe.
Rowan will smile and say, I'm alive. No thanks to you, Toril.
You also got your dad. He there. He talking. You hear Ikarn probably the angriest he's ever been. Like he is cursing and screaming and just gut him, kill him. I want to taste his blood. He's
I think Rowan will
pissed.
smile, and as Toril says, well, you have your dad and all that, Rowan will say, you're right. I do have my dad, and you know what? You never got to hear them. But he had some parting words for you.
Did he now?
And I swing.
Oh shit. Okay, roll an attack roll.
Okay.
At advantage because he's in
At
a
advantage.
cage.
Okay. 23.
Okay. So you do hit him. You don't have to roll
Uh-huh.
damage because this is a member of the Weavers that was cursed and meant to die, being struck with a reliquary blade.
Yep.
What Jessamine and Maury see is the halfling's soul leave his body and enter the blade.
Oh shit.
Just a quick goodbye, you know? And she pulls the blade free.
Yeah, you see it like sink into his clavicle and neck before being dislodged from the halfling's body.
Very openly, Jessamine was like, that was hot.
Rowan will turn around and give like a kind of cocky grin. Again, she'll say, Theo! And the flames shut off. And she'll go,
She hears, "I'm gonna be a little quiet for the foreseeable next couple days."
Rowan will whisper
Hothead.
into
I'll
the
be.
blade, oh, you're fine. Please, take your time. Enjoy yourself.
You hear the screams of pain of Thoril Woodsheart as he's being beaten nearly to death in his eternal captivity inside the blade of your sword.
My goodness. Have fun explaining that one later.
So I think
Trog knew
Rowan
what was gonna
will
happen.
turn
Trog
around.
meant to kill him.
Yeah, Rowan will turn around, turn off the blade, look at Jessamine and say, well, I know it's hot. It's a flaming sword.
No, you idiot, for killing a person. That was my...
No, I know. I was being coy.
Okay, good. I love women who can fight for themselves. Ah. And then she'll just go back to looking at the shop. Little
You hear
noble
Trog go,
fanning.
Maury, question.
Yeah.
We don't tell anybody about this, and he'll preside you with a different toad.
Look, I don't tell anyone about this, and hopefully no one else finds out about this.
Bingo! That's what I like to hear. Thank you. Now, Ms. Jasmine, is there anything that I can get for you?
Well, I was looking at your weaponry.
The item doesn't have to be a weapon. It can be an enchantment on yours. It can be an item to enhance your abilities. I have an assortment of beautiful necklaces, and he'll show you a set of necklaces that have the aspects of improved ability, like the can't remember the name of the spell, but like it's Eagle Splendor,
yeah.
Cat's Graze, yeah.
She'll look at the necklaces and then remember that Hugh has them all, or has like 2 of them, and she's like, ugh, I can't match. That's gross. They just continue to keep moving.
That's fair. That's fair. I have a cloak that could help you stay away from. That could help you if your terrain becomes difficult. It'll lead you over to a cloak of elven kind. or a belt that'll allow you to speak Dwarvish.
Hold on, I have to make sure. Jessamine goes, I already speak Dwarvish. Part of the trade, part of the Empire, you know.
Understood, understood. What about, and just hear me out here,
Mm-hmm.
a set of beautiful heeled boots that will allow you to move twice as fast as you normally can. And he will pull out these beautiful, beautiful leather boots, beautifully engraved, wonderful, and they have little, like, metal, like, almost like tap shoe bottoms on the back heel.
Mm-hmm.
These are known as the boots of the bard. They were used by a dueling bard and warrior poet many, many eons ago. These are boots of haste, just for the sake of, like, that's what they do.
Jessamine already moves 40 feet a turn. 50 feet if she uses a bardic. So that's 100 feet with the boots of haste. Oh no. Oh no. My point was when Celeste made her character, I was like, what if Jessamine was faster than Rowan? Now she really is faster than Rowan.
Boots of haste. And they're pretty boots of haste, too. They're, like, very well made.
Okay, you've got me sold. I am interested and moving very quick. Crowd control is my specialty, and getting in and out of things, perfect.
Wonderful. Wonderful. These boots also have another special property. Once per day, they will allow you to make either an extra attack or to disengage once you have already made an attack.
Interesting. I think I will take it, yeah.
Wonderful. And he will hand you the boots. Essentially, they're just standard boots of haste.
Yeah.
Except they also give the added benefit of being able to either retreat once you've already made an attack and not incur an attack of opportunity, or make an extra attack on your turn.
Okay. It's once per day.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So Jessamine gets her own little action surge, but just with an attack. Yeah. Because I think I have, what's the feat? I have mobile, so mobile allows me to dip out. If I at least attempt to attack someone, I could still run away without provoking opportunity attacks, I think.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Alrighty.
I think during all of this, Maury's just been like, you know when you're at the store and you're like, ooh, this looks really cool, but do I need it? But I could use it. It'd actually be very helpful. She's caught on the fence staring at, like, what is the consecrated whip.
Okay.
Staring at it, I think.
Trog will slip over and go, dear niece, what can I do for you?
I was looking at, this whip right here. We're about to fight a vampire, and I figure it might be helpful.
You know, it was used by a vampire hunter many eons ago. It might indeed help you. Yes, it was. It was made specifically to kill them. That's hence the name, and he'll point to it. Right under the whip, it says Vampire Killer.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did not see that at all, actually. I've had a bit of a day.
I've heard.
Oh,
Gossip gets around in the godly circles. You know how it is.
It's really
So which of those two? And he's like facing away from Rowan and Jessamine. Which of those two are the one you were flirting with?
Oh my
Your mom
God,
said you found.
I wasn't flirting with anybody.
Okay, wistfully staring at whatever.
Who told you I was flirting?
Your mother, of course.
Oh my God. I cannot believe.
Listen, you know how your mother blabs. So which one? Which one was it? Please tell me it's not the doofus. He points to Hugh. He points to Hugh. Tell me it's not the doofus. Oh, thank God.
Oh God, no.
Oh, Praise be to me.
No,
Please
mom,
be me.
mom, either one of my moms wants to kill him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he is a simulacrum.
He's a what?
You didn't hear that. Nothing?
Hey, I think you need to start thinking before you speak.
Yes, probably. Anyway.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that.
You absolutely should.
She'll like subtly gesture towards Jessamine. I guess.
Ah. Oh, I see. Oh, you do know how to pick 'em, don't you?
Look, I didn't. You know what? Shut up.
Listen. If you ever need any pointers that don't come from your very, very lustful mother, my suggestion is to call on your Aunt Rhiannon.
Sorry, repeat that name, God?
Rhiannon.
Spell that?
You know how to spell the song, the Fleetwood Mac song?
No. Just put it in
Let me
chat, I'll
find
write it down in it later.
Okay. I think I'm gonna spell this right.
You know
I
what? I will
think that's
take
spelled
that.
right.
You know what? I'll take that into consideration. And I will certainly let you know. But
From
in
what
the
I hear,
meantime-
she thinks she'd be a cute couple. I'm just saying.
God. Yeah.
Listen, she's the goddess of love. She has to be part of these things. It's her job. She thinks she'll be a cute couple. I'm just saying. Go for it.
You know what?
Do it.
In my, we'll figure.
All right.
You know what? We'll deal with this at a later. Look, my brain. I woke up today and things instantly started going for me. So we're gonna have to like. We're gonna
Come back at a later date. I understand.
So how about whatever is convenient for you. I have you know how I have like all the legendary and stuff at my house that I don't actually have any actual use, like literally ever.
You see that he points to a wall, and the beholder skull that was just kind of on your wall is already there. Don't worry, I already collected my fee.
I am so glad that you're on it.
I got you. Don't worry, I got you, kid.
I appreciate the gifts and they're very nice, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do with an entire skull.
Right? And that's like a whole ass beholder.
Like, it's cool, I guess, but like I never have company. What am I gonna do? Like, oh, you get that yourself? It's just the whole thing. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly. Then hence now you've given your aunt another present as well, because she can make that skull into another death tyrant. Everyone wins.
Yeah, that she's just gonna bring to the next family function. It's gonna be fun.
Then she'll have two of them. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We can make them fight. It'll be great.
No, listen. They do not need to fight at the family function. It's already so much. No, listen. Look at me. No, Chuck. Look at me in my eyes, right? They do not need to fight. They do not need to fight.
Fine. I can't control what your aunt does. It's not my business. You know I can't control that woman. She's lovely.
Yeah, and she's also right in the room.
Yes, she is. She's currently pouting because your mom kicked her right in the ass. It was hilarious.
Oh, no, she threw her right over my head.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
But anyway, very cool. Let me know when you figure out the Toad situation, considering that he's fucking dead now.
I mean, I gave you the new Toad, and hopefully no one notices.
Yeah, let's hope the gods don't notice.
Listen, don't worry about it. I got you.
I'm gonna trust you on this.
I promise.
I'm gonna trust
It'll be
you on
fine.
this one, okay?
If anyone gets in trouble for this, it'll be me. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And for the other thing, I'm also gonna pretend I didn't. That I actually already forgot, which is amazing. Anyway.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Deal.
As just DM to players, forget I said that because I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, you're good. I forget things very easily. Don't worry.
Good.
But yeah, that's all I got, boss.
Awesome. Okay, so
I-
I think, yeah, I think we're gonna do one more scene. We're gonna kind of rewind back to Rowan and Tethala at the library, unless you want to do that as the opening scene of next session.
I am down for either. Do you need to head out soon?
I'm good because I already got like my vitals and everything done, and I've already got everything done, so I'm good to go for as long as we need. As long as I'm done by like 5 a.m.
What's everybody else think?
I'm gonna have to break
Okay.
into the room to take medicine in like 4 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see, it's almost time for meds.
How about we call it here and we start
Yeah,
the next session?
I say we call it here, and next session we start with Rowan talking to
Awesome.
Tathala.
I am so happy that Rowan gets to learn so much, and also get a hot woman. So good
Hey.
for her.
Hey, Jester.
What? Yeah. What?
I'm fucking your character's mom. It's
Okay,
I'm gonna go
happening.
ahead and stop the recording.
I will stop the recording.